I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was scarred with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's your man, Uncle Freezy. Welcome, finally, to the Knicks Morning Drive. What's good? Bunch of meetings and stuff, man. Kind of put your man behind time, but gotta pay the bills. Gotta pay the bills, man. Y'all know how this thing works. Gotta pay the bills. Right? Got to have these bills around here paid. Right? What's good? Welcome to the Knicks Morning Drive. Again, I'm your man, Uncle Freezy. Number one chief rocker in Knicks universe. Let's get it. Let's start off with blue tears, orange tears, Blorange tears. Let's go. So I'm going to get straight to I'm going to do things in reverse order. I'm going to do the tip-off, and then I'm going to do a quote from a great American poet. Right? But before we do that, throw your hands in the air. That's right. I said throw. Throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. And if you got some loot and a stick of juicy fruit, somebody say, oh, yeah. Let's go. Let's go, y'all. Let's get it. Oh, yeah. Let me see if I can find the tip-off. Tip-off. Where's tip-off? Tip-off starts with a T. Starts with T. Is that T capitalized? So, the star and a losing organization may be going separate ways after the season. The star and the losing organization may part ways after the season. Right? And the reason why the star and the losing organization may part ways may not have anything to do with their relationship. Right? It may be a matter of circumstance. Sometimes the timing is just not right. And I equate it to anybody in here from a small town? Anybody in here from a small town? Maybe you from like Levittown or Maybe you from somewhere like Sea Caucus, New Rochelle. Maybe you from Mount Vernon. You from like a small town, like right outside the joints of a big city, and the big city is calling your name. Like maybe you're from a Gaston, North Carolina, right outside of Charlotte. Maybe you're from a Covington, Georgia, right outside Atlanta. Right? Anybody here from a small town? Throw your yes or no in the chat if you're from a small town. Anyway, the thing with the Knicks star Julius Randle and the organization he may divorce, the New York Knicks, is circumstance. Right? They may be headed to a premature divorce because circumstances surrounding both parties are forcing them in a direction that neither wants to go. Right? Julius Randle wants to be a star in New York. But he has no gravity, right? He can't pull in other entities to come into his universe. Because Julius Randle is the vexed, the cursed star, right? Julius Randle is, and I'm going to get to the Knicks. Trust me, I'm going to get to the Knicks because this is 90% their fault and 10% Julius Randle's fault. Right? Julius Randle is, in my opinion, the most complex makeup of a star. Not saying that he's complex, right? Right? Not saying Randle's complex. He is the most difficult makeup of a star. Right? For one, Julius Randle is not dynamic. He's a very, 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 very good NBA player. But he's not dynamic. He doesn't jump off the page like a star. Like, he's not going to dunk on Giannis. He's not going to have that 65-point game. He plays in the Garden every night. So his big games are washed away as opposed to, say, when a Devin Booker comes to the Garden and has a big game, it's all over. It's front page news. Right? Julius Randle is a complicated star. He's not 6'3" with a 48-inch vertical blazing fast. He's not a 6'6" lights out shooter that can erupt for 70 points. He's not a 6'11" freak athlete. He's not a 6'4" scoring machine. Julius Randle is a 6'8", 250-pound bruising power forward that has to work for everything that he has achieved in the NBA. And I mean everything. Everything. So much so that you see him fighting for respect around the league every night. The one thing Julius Randle is not going to stand for is for you to slightly disrespect him. Because Julius Randle believes that he belongs on the big stage, and I never begrudge any person that believes they belong on the big stage and is willing to work to get there. And neither should you. Who are we to begrudge someone that's taken the talent that they have and wants to take that talent to the next level, get better? Who are we to begrudge somebody that? When we as humans get to a stage where we start knocking hard workers for trying to get better, it's no longer about that person out there. It's about that person in here. Right? I don't begrudge Randle for taking his talent and trying to be the best version of himself. Now, with that said, let me get to the other parts of this, because that's the nice part that I said about Julius Randle. Here are some things that may not be so nice and may not be so complimentary. Does Julius Randle cross the line? Yes. Julius Randle does cross the line. Is he easily pulled into confrontation? Yes. He is easily pulled into confrontation. Easily. Like a dude named Cam Johnson pulled Julius Randle into the weirdest looking confrontation you ever saw. A skinny 6'9" bench player, shooter, you borderline lottery bust, pulls Julius Randle into a confrontation and takes Julius Randle out of his game and eventually out of the game. And here's the thing about stars. While we feel like anybody can be a star if they work hard enough, if they have enough things go their way, they can be a star in this league if people help them along the way. Sure, right? Sure. But Julius Randle's makeup, and I mean all of it, the mental makeup, the physical makeup, the physical ability, all of that does not lead to or give you the impression that this guy can be a star, right? Because at his core, Julius Randle is a 6'8" bruiser / enforcer. Julius Randle is a 6'8" bruiser / enforcer. So when he does his bruiser / enforcer thing, it looks weird to us because stars look different than 6'8" bruiser / enforcers. NBA stars are not bruisers / enforcers. And Julius Randle wants to be a star. Right? You don't see 6'8", 250-pound NBA players that are bruisers / enforcers become NBA stars. It's just not how things work. It's not what you as an NBA fan is used to seeing. It's not what you want. So when you see a 6'8", 250-pound bruiser / enforcer, it makes you cringe. It makes you cringe. And not cringe in a sense where you're thinking, hey, this can't last that long. When is this magical fantasy ride going to end? No, it's not that type of cringe. Like anticipating the fiery crash and burn. It's not that type of cringe, right? It's a cringe of I don't like what I'm looking at. Period. As NBA fans and as Knicks fans, we do not like our stars to be enforcers, big bullies. We don't like bullies being the star of the show because most people in general don't like bullies. We don't. Julius Randle, by nature, whether he wants to be this or not, but Julius Randle, by nature, by his size and by the way he plays and by his body language, he looks like the villain. He looks like the villain. Is that fair to Julius Randle? No, it's not fair to Julius Randle because in theory, we should not judge a book by its cover. We shouldn't. We're told that from a very young age. We should not judge a book by its cover. But guess what we do as people? We judge books by their covers. That's why when you go book shopping, the covers on these books are fantastic. They jump off the page at you. Like if you've ever gone into Barnes and Noble, or if you've ever gone into a Books A Million or a library, or if you ever shopped for books on Amazon or any of these places, the two things that immediately jump out at you are the title. You judge a book by its title. We do that by nature. And we judge a book by its cover. Right? Now, we say we should not do this. We say we should not do this. We should not judge a book by its cover, but we judge when we shop for books. Guess what we judge books by? Their title and their cover. And that's how we judge Julius Randle. We judge Julius Randle by the title of number one option star and what he looks like and behaves like. Is it fair? No. Is it a fact? Yes. Because to Knicks fans, New York Knicks fans, and NBA fans, and fans of professional sports, we want our stars to look and behave a certain way. We want our stars to smile in the face of adversity. We want our stars to struggle up the ladder and then reach the mountaintop and then do something to stay there and have compelling moments that tug at our heartstring, like, oh, can he achieve this great accomplishment? He came from this place and fought through the valley and made his way to the mountaintop. And he's here. Give you an example. Devin Booker. Devin Booker came out in the Porzingis draft, overlooked, going to a team that was trash. He went to that bad team, overcame a lot of adversity internally. The Phoenix Suns, listen, the Phoenix Suns are a grease fire. Don't let Chris Paul going there fool you that the Phoenix Suns have the organization has their head on straight, because they don't. They're just winning right now because of Chris Paul and his impact on that team. But the Phoenix Suns are a grease fire, and they have always been that. Right? So here's but Devin Booker, through all of that, the thing at Kentucky, they won't let him do certain things at Kentucky. He leave. He go to the Suns. They're a mess. The coach, Earl Watson, is like, the dude, he don't have a certain basketball IQ. He freelances too much. You know, he hunts for a shot instead of trying to help others, whatever it is. All the knocks on Devin Booker. So he fights through all these things and becomes a star. That's right, a star. For my people on the East Coast, a star. Right? Devin Booker climbs out of the valley, no pun intended, valley of the sun, all that stuff, no pun intended. Climbs out of the valley and becomes a star. Makes it to the NBA Finals. Right? That's what we want our stars to do and to look like. A 6'6" guard with a sweet jump shot. Right? Michael Jordan, a star. Maybe the greatest player to ever breathe breath. Right? He looks a certain way. A 6'6" shooting guard, scoring machine. Defied the odds, knocked off the Detroit Pistons, got by the Celtics, won all these championships despite the circus that was going on in Chicago, with Horace Grant wanting more money and more touches, and John Paxson not being able to defend anybody, but could all these things. Phil Jackson telling people to read these stupid books. Dennis Rodman gets there, and it's, a circus. Is he going to show up for the game? Is he not? Is he going to wear a wedding dress to the game? Is he not? All these different things. The Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan won championships despite all these things. Because the Chicago Bulls were not competing against the league. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and the Chicago Bulls were competing against themselves. So there were always storylines surrounding the Chicago Bulls. But Julius Randle is a 6'8", 250-pound power forward that can't jump. He's not Zion. Right? He can't shoot the three. Right? He's not Devin Booker. Right? He's a very good athlete without the verticality. Julius Randle is a very good athlete without the verticality, of course. So he doesn't look the part. And he doesn't act the part because nobody wants the bully to be the star of the show. And Julius Randle is a bully on the court against the opponent, is what I'm saying when I use the bully reference. I want to make sure that I clarify that, because there is no documentation anywhere that Julius Randle is a bully off the court or with his teammates. Right? And so here's the thing. And somebody mentioned it in the chat. In the chat. So then you bring in a guy that looks the part in Obi Toppin. Obi smiles. and he helps his teammates, and he's flashy. He looks the part. When you talk to Obi, he gives you the coming to America vibes. I'm very happy to be here, Obi. And Obi ain't worth two dead flies smashed together, right? But he can dunk by himself. When he at the other end of the court, he can dunk by himself. Whoop-de-doo. But Obi looks the part, though. He's tall and lean and good-looking and athletic. And his pops could dunk. Obi Toppin is All-American. Obi Toppin is varsity jackets, Chevrolets, and apple pies. Julius Randle ain't. Julius Randle is not that. And so when we get into this thing of, is Julius Randle a star? Julius Randle has star ability. Of course he does. But you know what star is? Star is opinion. Star is opinion. That's all the word star is. It's opinion. Somebody says you're a star or you're not. Or a group of people says you're a star or you're not. And that opinion weighs heavily on NBA players. Am I a star? Are the fans going to vote me into the All-Star game? Well, what do you get from the All-Star game? Would you trade one All-Star game for one NBA championship? See, because the NBA championship is a culmination of a competition. The All-Star game is a popularity contest. Which would you rather have? In Julius Randle's case, I believe he is wrapped up in the respect aspect, the All-Star game, and all these type of things. He wants people, and I'm guessing that he wants people to recognize that he is just as talented or more than most players in this NBA. Is that the reason why he's touchy? Yes. I'm speculating. That's the reason why he's touchy. Right? But Julius Randle, let me tell you something, brother. You can have all the talent, right? You can have all the work ethic, right? But the one thing you will never have is control of other people's opinions. You will never have that. That's something you can't force people to like you. I get told this every day. People DM me, Uncle Freezy, I hate your show. I wish you would quit. Okay, I'll be on tomorrow. Because for every one person that says that, there's like 1,000 people that's like, yo, Blorange Tears is it. For every one person, Julius Randle, listen, and people out there, listen. For every bad comment I get, oh, Uncle Freezy, you talk too much. You need to let CWC talk more. And I wish Uncle Freezy would shut up and let other people talk. Like, okay. I'll be on tomorrow. I'll be on most weekdays. I'll be on 90% of the weekdays unless something come up. I got like a business meeting, a doctor's appointment, something going on with Mo where I can't be here. But all them other days, I'll be here. Whether you like it or not. And so as I get into this thing, I see people in the chat basically co-signing my point. They're like, Julius Randle is not a star. And basically what I'm saying is Julius Randle doesn't look the part. And star is opinion. Star is opinion. Julius Randle doesn't look like your conventional sports star. He frowned up in the face, grimacing. He's a big guy, right? People don't, for the record, people just don't like big guys being stars. Just not how people are nowadays, right? It's why the faces of the NFL are never defensive ends that get 20 sacks a season. It's always a mediocre franchise quarterback. A dude that's throwing for 4,600, 4,700 yards to people, just throwing a ball to people that are superior athletes than themselves. Imagine that. Imagine that. In the NFL, all you have to do is be a 6'5", above average arm strength guy throwing a football to elite athletes, and you'll be more of a star than the elite athlete. Imagine that. So if you're on this train with Julius Randle is not a star, think about why you said that. Why are you saying Julius Randle is not a star? And it starts with Julius Randle doesn't look the part. Julius Randle is a bully on the court, of course. This is when on the court. Julius Randle is a bully, and nobody wants a bully to be the star of the show. It's just what it is. Now, here's my favorite part. This is the part that I've been thinking about for 6 or 7 hours. This mess about Julius Randle not being a star is totally created by the New York Knicks. Totally created by the New York Knicks. New York Knicks, you are so guilty, the judge might sentence you twice. You heard me. Y'all heard me. Y'all heard me. Listen good. The New York Knicks created this disaster. Right? The New York Knicks created this disaster. So it starts with Tom Thibodeau. So for all you Tom Thibodeau fans out there, you may want to leave and go get a cup of coffee or do whatever it is you do when we criticize Tibbs. Right? I like Tibbs, but no person is perfect. Nobody. Nobody is perfect, including Tom Thibodeau. And this is the Knicks are 90% at fault. That's what I said, right? 90% at fault. I'm going to say 30% of this is Tom Thibodeau. Is this thing on? Is this thing on? Can y'all hear me in the back? Testing 1, 2. Okay. Tom Thibodeau's offense is a disaster. Okay. Tom Thibodeau's offense is the worst looking offense in the NBA. His offense is offensive. Pun intended. Tom Thibodeau runs a pick and roll with a non-ball handler, mostly indicate Alec Burks, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly. Non-ball handlers with limited court vision, with a roller who can't catch or finish in traffic. Listen to what I just said. Tom Thibodeau runs a pick and roll offense with non-ball handlers, Alec Burks, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, that don't have elite court vision, with a roll man that can't catch or shoot from distance, or finish in traffic. And when that stalls all the way out, when that stalls all the way out, it's, hey, clear it out for the 6'8" bully ball power forward to go ISO against 3 defenders. What are we doing here? What are we doing? What are we doing here? Right? I'll get this microphone straight sooner or later. There we go. Tom Thibodeau runs an offense every game with, I don't like that shadow either. What's going on? What's going on today? I got a shadow on my face. What's going on? So anyway, how about we just move this out of the way? So Tom Thibodeau runs an offense with RJ Barrett, who's got a decent handle, with Emmanuel Quickly, who's got a decent handle, with Alec Burks, who's got a decent handle, but these are shooting guards. These are not point guards, right? These are not point guards. These are combo guards, right? And I know what y'all going to say. Devin Booker, Spider Mitchell ran. I know how y'all get. I know how y'all get. We are just as good as them. No, we're not just as good as them. We're not. We're not. We're not. We're not just as good as anybody. The Knicks have the worst offense in the NBA and probably the second or third worst roster in the league. Thank you, Tibbs. Thank you. Defensively, offensively, it's like watching Buddy Ryan. Watching Tom Thibodeau fumble around on the sidelines is like watching Buddy Ryan in his Phoenix Cardinals days. Not Arizona Cardinals, the Phoenix Cardinals day. That's for old school, for people that don't know. Right? You know what? If there are any Dolphins fans in the building, it's like watching Tom Thibodeau on the sidelines right now is like watching Dave Wannstedt run the Dolphins. Run, Ricky, run. That's what it's like. Can you do anything creative offensively? Can you space the floor? Can you play? And listen, I know Cam is hurt. But listen, could you have played Cam Reddish more? A slasher that can get through these gaps in the defense and go to the basket. Can you do that, Tibbs? Can you play Jericho Sims more so that you can get a little teeny bit of floor spacing? Sims ain't shooting threes, but he does seem to have a niche for spacing the floor. Like driving lanes seem to be there when Sims is on the floor. And he can catch a basketball, which is a novel idea for New York Knicks big men. Tom Thibodeau, I understand that you had to play these veterans because the front office signed them. You got to play them. Your boss, and I don't know why Knicks fans don't get this. Knicks fans talk this dumb, merry-go-round, stupid, nightmare scenario. Tibbs hate the kids. All he want to do is play veterans. And I think when I hear people say that, I think these people are the ones that have no idea what hierarchy means. When your boss tells you to do something, or when your boss implies something, that means you do it or get fired. It's as simple as that. The boss the boss hire people and bring them into the office? You think he wants you to sit them down? When the boss goes through the interview process and brings in 6 new hires and give them to you like, hey, Uncle Freezy, these are 6 new hires. He didn't say play them, but the implication is play them. I didn't hire them for nothing. And I hear Knicks fans say this weird thing, like they heard one person say it and it sounded smart. And so they repeat it, like they parakeet it. Tibbs doesn't play the kids. Tibbs coached a 3rd year Derrick Rose to an MVP. Tibbs coached a 3rd year Karl Anthony Towns, a young Andrew Wiggins, whatever his name is. Right? And people are saying Tibbs don't like the kids. Okay, really? Tibbs don't play kids, but everywhere he's been, even here, Tibbs plays kids. And there's this stupid argument out there, this stupid narrative. People who can't think for themselves, they parakeet what they hear somebody say, right? And if you're offended, man, I'm sorry. Start thinking for yourself instead of listening to what everybody else is saying and going by. Think about this. I'm a random Knicks fan, and this is my thought. Hey, Uncle Freezy, what do you think about how Tibbs don't play the kids or plays the kids? What did such and such say? I'm just gonna say the same thing such and such said. I'm just saying. This is what a lot of people sound like. Such and such said on Twitter that Tibbs don't play the kids. Really? He coached a 3rd year Derrick Rose to the MVP. He coached Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins. He got here and played Emmanuel quickly off the rip. He started R.J. Barrett, a 2nd year R.J. Barrett, and a 3rd year Mitchell Robinson. But we say Tibbs don't play the kids. These are facts. These are facts. Now, if you say, and I'm not defending Tibbs because Tibbs, you are the blame. Tibbs, you are the blame for Randle and this weird stardom argument. You are the blame for this weird offense that's terrible. But what you are not the blame for is kids getting minutes. I will give you credit. You will play kids. Quentin Grimes is in the rotation as a rookie. But people say he won't play the kids because we don't get to see enough of Miles McBride. So the narrative is Tibbs don't play kids. But Tibbs, I'm going to get off that and I'm going to get on this. Down the stretch of games, it's abundantly clear that Tom Thibodeau cannot create enough offense against set NBA defenses to keep his team in games. Right? The Knicks had a bajillion point lead, right? And a team went to a zone. They're like, let's just throw a zone at Tibbs and see what he do. So they throw some kind of weird zone. It's not even a 2-3 zone. It's like a weird zone up top and man at the back. Just zone up top because we know they want to try to run the pick and roll. So if we zone it, they can't run the pick and roll. And if we man it at the backside, then we can double team Randle when he catch it. And Tibbs crapped his pants. Multiple games. But instead of focusing on generating some offense where everybody gets touches, maybe trying different personnel groups, Tibbs depends on his star, Julius Randle. Hey, Julius, we're up by 8 with 3 minutes to go. Get us a bucket here. It's a missed 3. Outlet the other way. The other team scores and the foul. And now it's a 5-point lead. Tibbs has crapped the bed all season. The offense looks horrible. RJ Barrett running the pick and roll with Mitchell Robinson is one of the worst things I've seen in my life. Do I want RJ Barrett to handle the ball more? Yes, of course I do. Of course I do. But in RJ Barrett's 21-year-old season, I don't know if RJ Barrett is it right now. And I love RJ Barrett, and I know he's got to grow, right? And I know he's got to get these reps in order to get better. I understand that, right? But you don't have to be the primary ball handler to be a ball handler in the offense. You don't. You don't have to be the primary ball handler to handle the ball in the offense. You don't. You don't. You can start off the ball and then get a screen for you to get you momentum. They can pass you the ball. You can catch the ball with the momentum going to the basket. Now you can either finish at the basket, or if the double team comes, you can kick to the open man that's usually occupying the space that the double team came from. It's like the blitz in NFL, where the blitz is coming from the weak side, so therefore a open man is going to be on the weak side of that defense. Tibbs crapped the bed. Tibbs forced Randle to be a star in the most adverse conditions. A stagnant offense. An offense with 2 people moving at 5 people defending 2 people. Tibbs forced Randle to be a star in the worst offense in the history of mankind. I'm just going to say that, and I know that's hyperbole. Tibbs forced Randle to be a star in this terrible offense. Does Randle deserve all the blame? No, of course not. Because at the end of the day, you have to do what your bosses tell you to do. Come on, man. Come on. Y'all know that. Y'all know that. Tibbs deserves 30% of the blame. Randle deserves 10%. Tibbs deserves 30%. That means somebody deserves 60%, right? The one entity left deserves 60%, right? I'm going to say the Knicks front office deserves 50% of the blame. And here's why. At the trade deadline last year, you traded Iggy Brastakis and Austin Rivers, not for Lonzo Ball. Not for Lonzo Ball. Not for Lonzo. You didn't trade for a point guard. You acquired Terrence Ferguson and Vincent Poirier. Who? You acquired Vincent Poirier and Terrence Ferguson. My heart still just runs wild at the mention of the name Vincent Poirier. A lot of you Knicks fans have forgotten how the Knicks organization keeps crap in the bed in trades, right? 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 This season, the Knicks traded for a guy named Denzel Valentine, who they cut. And they also traded for a guy named Solomon Hill, who they cut. And I know Knicks fans are like, oh, Uncle Freezy, please don't talk about the front office. I can see y'all now, man. I see it. When I point the finger and when, here's the thing. When I call the front office inept, a lot of you guys are offended. Uncle Freezy, that's such a strong word to only be 5 letters. Why do you call the front office inept? Because they are. The front office, this front office is the same front office that signed Scal Labissiere. This front office signed Wayne Selden. This front office signed Michael Kidd Gilchrist, the ugliest jumper since Bill Cartwright. Right? How easily we forget about the signing of how easily we forget about the signing of Michael Kidd Gilchrist. We signed him and cut him, right? Nobody even sniffed Michael Kidd Gilchrist. The Kentucky connection. The Kentucky connection is going to get us over. This is the same front office that traded for Jacob Evans and Amari Spellman. Remember them? Jacob Evans and Amari Spellman. This is the same front office that cut Miles Powell. This is the same organization that brought back Damian Dotson for a cup of tea. This is the same organization. Now, mind you, they hadn't been here that long. They're in year number 3, right? They're in year 3. They're in year 3. Okay? They're in year 3. This is the same organization, same front office that traded a first-round pick for a heavily protected first-round pick in a weak draft. Yet, you and I, we blame Julius Randle for everything that's wrong with the Knicks season. This is the same front office that when point guards were available, they were like, nah, we're good. We're just going to keep on shopping. Oh, Kemba Walker's available? Let's give him 2 years. So if you thought Kemba was bad defensively this year, imagine Kemba Walker 1 year older. I'm just saying. So the last 10%, you guys know where the last 10% goes. It goes to James Dolan. I got to blame Dolan for something. When I'm passing out blame, I got to blame Dolan for something. I just got to, I don't even, it didn't matter. We could have won the championship. I have to blame Dolan for something. That's just how this thing works. This YouTube thing when you do Knicks talk, you have to blame James Dolan for something. So I'm blaming the last 10% goes to James Dolan. I don't know why. He just gets 10%. Maybe because he is the curator of this artistic mess. Maybe James Dolan is the supplier of the grease needed to have an out-of-control grease fire. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe that's the reason. I know you guys. I know you wanted me to save the last 10% for the fans, but you can't blame the fans for commenting on what they see. You can't blame fans for commenting on what they see. I am a fan. Can't help it. I was a fan before Dolan. I was a fan before Tibbs. I was a fan before all these new logos. I was a fan before Randle was born. You feel me? All right, so here's my note for the channel. If you want to become a member of the Blorange Tears channel and the family, go to the Blorange Tears page on YouTube. Click on the join button, and select the options will be there for you to be down with the family, right? For you to be down with the family. I want you to be down, right? You know what I'm saying? Get some inside stuff. You know what I'm saying? We're working on a lot of stuff, man. I was just talking to Chuck a few minutes ago while the missus was doing her meeting. I couldn't do the show because the missus had a meeting and I couldn't legit be in here like, Randle. Now the meeting's over, I can get in here and say, Randle. So Mr. Vince says, okay, what should real Knicks fans be doing to express our displeasure with the front office? That is a great question. That's a great question. I don't have the answer to it. I don't. And I'm not going to lie to you or BS you or finesse you. I'd rather be straight up with you. I don't have an answer. Because if I had the answer to that question, I would have used that answer 7 front offices ago. Because every front office that comes in here swears they're smarter than the previous front office. And they have more connections than the previous front office. And their innovative way of doing it is better than the previous front office. And they have more connections and they'll save money and they'll try to bring the Knicks back to respectability. Every front office says that. And no front office does that. So, Mr. Vince, I hope you respect the fact that I'm honest with you as opposed to BSing you around. I don't have an answer. If I had it, I'd have used it 7 front offices ago. It's just what it is. So, Vibes and Stuff live was on this morning. Me and Chuck Allen rocked from about 8 to 9-ish this morning, and then I found out that there was a meeting that Miss Mocha couldn't get out of, and she couldn't have her husband and boyfriend and whatever of 30 years screaming Tom Thibodeau's name at the top of his lungs. So I had to postpone the KMD for a little bit while she saved the world. I hope y'all appreciate that. Hope y'all appreciate the fact that we still rocking. I'm gonna throw the link in the chat in a few minutes. But I want to start. I want to get back to saying this thing that I've been saying, because I noticed that the quality of the show is not where it should be, right? And it's because people come in and they whack. Like some folks that come in, they whack. Camera whack, noise in the background, stupid takes, not respecting panelists. And we're going to eliminate that to make sure that we get back to the quality, the Jerry Springer style quality that you deserve. So we're gonna get back to that starting today. I've been meaning to do that. I'm just saying, I'm gonna throw the link in the chat. If you whack, I'm booting you out. Period. That's not a new rule. That's an original rule. And here lately, I've been kind of getting away from it, trying to be compassionate, trying to be empathetic to Knicks fans that are going through losing season. But I noticed that the quality of the show has been going down and down, and we ain't gonna do that just because the Knicks losing. We're gonna be dope regardless. 'Cause we got a lot of people that listen to us. We got a lot of people that listen to us. We got a lot of people that listen to us. We got a lot of people that listen to us. We got a lot of people that listen to us. We got a lot of people that listen to us. We got a lot of people that listen to us. We got a lot of people that listen to us. We got a lot of people that listen to us. We got a lot of people that listen to us. We got a lot of people that listen to us. We got a lot of people that listen to us. We got a lot of people that listen to us. We got a lot of people that listen to us. We got a lot of people that listen to us. We got a lot of people that listen to us. We got a lot of people that listen to us. We got a lot of people that listen to us. We got a lot of people that listen to us. We got a lot of people that listen to us. We got a lot of people that listen to us. We got a lot of people that listen to us. We got a lot of people that listen to us. We got a lot of people that listen to us. We got a lot of people that listen to us. We got a lot of people that listen to us. We got a lot of people that listen to us. We got a So before I put the link to the in the chat, the divorce between Julius Randle and the Knicks is right around the corner. And it's not because Julius Randle didn't work hard enough or didn't have enough God-given ability, right? Or that the Knicks don't want to or desire to be a great franchise. It's because the circumstances surrounding Julius Randle, Julius Randle is just not meant to be the star in New York. He can be a star and a great player somewhere else, in my opinion. But New York, you have to have a certain type thing. And Julius Randle, ironically, may have too much of it, and he saturates us with it. Right? Because we want our stars to be passionate. And Julius Randle may be too passionate. We want our stars to be tough. And Julius Randle may be overly tough and exertive, a bully. We want our stars to smile. Julius Randle only smiles, in certain things. We want our stars to smile all the time. Right? All right. So I'm only going to rock for like a few more minutes, man. I just want to get all of that stuff off my chest. And bim. Okay. Oh, you a Knicks pod is in the chat. Uh-oh, somebody's in trouble, man. Somebody is in trouble, man. G. Robinson says, can he be a star on the worst team in the league? G. Robinson, you missed my point about Julius Randle and stardom. Julius Randle has a complex makeup. He's 6'8", 250, which most people don't like. Most people don't like big bully stars. They don't like it. They don't like guys to be 6'8", 250. You know what I'm saying? The only exception is LeBron James, and he's an exception to every rule. LeBron James is an exception to every rule. He's a 6'8", 250 guy that jumps higher than Jordan, right? He's got hang time like Michael Jordan at 6'8", 250. You feel me? So yeah, the guys 6'8", 250 are not meant to be that. Guys 6'8", 250 are meant to be something else.
Let's get it. Y'all be spitting with your flows, I'm just podcasting.
That's right.
On the air every day, I'm just podcasting. You don't know what that mean when I say I'm podcasting. I'm broadcasting these flows with the podcasting. Every day of my life, I'm just podcasting.
Right.
Share my dreams with you, mean I'm podcasting.
What?
You can see my vision through the podcasting.
Yeah.
But don't forget J Boogie when I'm broadcasting.
What?
I'm podcasting,
What?
he's podcasting.
What?
I've been spitting this venom since Karate Flicks. When Mr. Sales was sharing nothing but the Knicks. I guess you know by now, I seen some tough years. Now I know the reason why Freezy got them Blorange tears.
Why he got them Blorange tears, them. Good morning.
Yo, hold on. What time is it? Good early afternoon, family. What's happening with you?
What's good, man? How you doing?
I see the owner. The owner been running things this morning. Had to shut the boss down. See, one thing about it, us men, we always gonna be the boss. But
Right.
the women, if it ain't no kids in the house, they the owners. If the kids are in the house, they the owners, and the women are the vice presidents, and then come the boss.
Right.
So I see.
And you got to do what they say.
That immediately, ASAP.
Immediately.
What's
Yeah,
going
man.
on?
Hey, I'm going to tell you, man, I saw you, you jumped on the other day and you were parenting, right? And that ain't none of my business. You parenting or whatever. And I was like, this dude is like a good dad 24/7. It's like a good dad 24/7. Like the little stuff he was saying. I was like, he not just saying that from the camera, because he communicating that to the baby, and the baby is like, okay.
Right.
Like she hear that all the time.
Right.
So I was like, this dude is a good pops, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's me. That's every day. I when it's yours, it's yours. I hear people like you'd be like, yo, you come out, you gonna do something today? Nah, I can't do that, man. I gotta watch my kid. No, you don't watch your kids. That's yours.
Yeah.
You never watch your kids.
Right.
You parent your kids all the time.
Right. All
So
the time.
every day that's my gig, and I have to continue on practicing. And I listen to other parents that parent their kids, just in case it's something that I can learn, to whereas I can, be with my kids a little bit different. But yeah,
Right.
that's my little one right there. That's my All-American. She coming. Yeah, she coming. That's my All-American. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Hey, so when I saw you, I was proud of you, and I wanted, how we get on the joint, man. Like something happened, and then you can't even say nothing because like 10 people be talking and all this, and you like, man, see, now would have been the perfect time for me to tell Jay Boogie, but I make sure I tell him next time.
I appreciate it, man. I listen to it. It's a lot of us good dads, man. A lot of us, that I listen, I hear them around the kids, Man Ron Cleveland, the young E40, you know what I'm saying, out there.
Yeah.
Y'all know who I call the young E40. He's great. I listen to him with his kids, and he share his kids and stuff with me. It's G-Man for Life. I heard G-Man for Life put me on hold one day for a marvelous conversation that he was having with his family. Yo,
Right.
I promise you, I thought I was watching, like, they got the new episode of Bel Air.
Yeah.
I thought I was watching a new episode of Good Times, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
That man was, how he was, maneuvering with his wife and his kids and everything, So yeah,
Right.
man, it's a lot of us great parents out
Yeah,
here.
and we be trying too, bro. The whole thing is trying. Like, yo, make sure I try to be the best in this moment, every moment. Cause like I got an empty nest. Right? And when I look at the phone, so I got a bunch of kids. That ain't nobody business. Y'all mind y'all business. So, but anyway, so when I see the phone light up and it's one of the kids, I'm like, yo, that kind of make my day right there. I ain't even read the message yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you go from a house full to an empty nest all of a sudden. You're like,
Yeah, it don't even make a difference what the message is. When they call us, it's such a beautiful thing. No matter what it is they're going through, if it's something good, they just saying hello, that's great. If it's something that they're going through and they need our help, that's even greater, because it still shows that, they turn to their parents, you know what I'm saying? Even though they might be out of the house or something like that, they still look to turn to us for our advice. And we're still here to make sure we give them advice. That's beautiful, man. Yeah.
Right.
Shout out to all the parents, man.
Shout out to the parents, man.
Yeah. Waiting on Mother's Day and Father's Day when you dad every day. Shout out to the parents.
Shout out to the parents, man. You know what I mean? And to the point that you made is when adults can lean on you, that when they trust you, trust your judgment, and trust you'll be there for them, that's powerful, man. Even if they do your own kids, even your kid, like my kids are adults, man. They grown. You know what I'm saying? They grown. They done been to college and did all their stuff, and successful and got promoted on their job and pay down their student loans and, and all this stuff. And then they call you. They trust you. Hey, Pops, what do you think about such and such? And I'll be like, hey, just trust your judgment, man. Just trust your judgment or whatever. It's a beautiful thing, man.
Yes.
But hey, man. So what about these Knicks, man? What are we gonna do about these Knicks? Should we just throw them away? Should we just sell all our stuff and be Brooklyn Nets fans?
Nah,
I ain't think so. I ain't never doing that, bro. I ain't never.
I ain't never gonna do that. It's just we just gotta wait a little bit longer. And and we just gotta wait a little bit longer and see what happens. I'm just anxious to get the season over with. Me, just personally, just get it over with. You know what I'm saying? Let's end it. Let's start fresh, man. Fresh start the day after, our last game this season. You know what I'm saying? I just say the last two. I want to say 82, but so I gotta still pay homage to the ones that want to go to the play-in and all that. So after our last game of this season, that's when, on season starts right then and there. So
it reminds me, when you say that, it reminds me of this song by Miles J. Let's start love over. Let's start love over. Back to the way we were. Forget about him, and I'll forget about her. And the Locks used that on their first album. Remember, Let's Start Rap Over?
Yep.
Let's Start Rap Over. Back to the way we were. Forget about them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was Carl Thomas singing that hook, by the way, for those that didn't know.
Carl Thomas, man.
A blast from the past, right?
Man, why you there? You know what I'm saying? Why you there? Yo, Diddy had it, man.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody had a lineup like Diddy.
Right.
All the way around, man. He just, was it too much for him to handle that he didn't know what he was doing? What was it? Oh my God. He has so much talent.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You gotta trust. I think his thing was maybe the expansion. Maybe he didn't trust the expansion. You know how when you start growing and you don't trust the members of your team for certain responsibilities or whatever, and then so you try to do all the stuff on your own and you start dropping the ball.
Right.
Well, if you drop the ball, what's the difference between the person you gave a responsibility to dropping the ball?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The ball is still dropped.
It's still dropped.
You feel me? So yeah. So and the reason why I know that now is because people have been telling me, "Uncle Freeze, listen, man, Blorange is at that stage where it's about to take off and blow up, man. You gotta start trusting other people to do stuff." And I'm like, I'm Diddy.
Right.
That's right. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, y'all hit the like buttons, man, and subscribe, man. Build a man family team and everything, man. Do what you gotta do. And don't let that boot start putting no pressure on none of y'all. Some of y'all normally would have got in here. Get in here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't let that man put that boot pressure on y'all. Y'all don't want to come in and holler at him.
I will. Yeah. Jay, listen, man. The thing is, we used to have a lot of dope conversations, and our conversations here lately have gotten off the rails. Partly due because our tumultuous emotions because the Knicks are having a bad season after a great season.
Right.
And so I'm blaming it on Bing Bong. As soon as somebody said Bing Bong, the Knicks season went straight downhill.
It went over.
I'm blaming G Robinson and Bing Bong. G Rob, I'm joking. G Robinson, I'm joking. But yeah, man, as soon as we got overconfident, things just went downhill. We should not be in a place where our season depended on Derrick Rose staying healthy. Right?
Exactly.
Because when's the last time Derrick Rose stayed healthy?
I can't even say. And playing with Tom, he'll find a way to get unhealthy. Tom gonna run him in.
Right. And Derrick Rose got hurt in the playoffs last year. So yeah. And I'm not blaming Rose for being brittle. I'm saying that if somebody has a history of being brittle, you can't trust it. You just can't. Not saying that he's a bad guy, a bad player. I'm just saying that we should have had more quality depth at the position.
Right.
So yeah, man. So what I'll say is this, right? So what I'll say to this season is this. I'm with you, Jay Bookie. Right. I'm with you. Let's get this season over. Let's get everybody out of this season healthy. You feel me? Because what we don't want to have happen is give a guy a bunch of minutes and then he gets end of the season injury, right? A season ending injury that lasts all the way through training camp or something like that, all the way into the season, like a torn ACL or something. We don't want stuff like that.
What time is it?
I would like to introduce.
We need a key. Don, what's good?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. What's up, guys? What's going on?
The original one there, white.
Yo, Jay Boogie, I'm still waiting on your call, bro.
Hey, yo, I was waiting for you to come on here so you can say that. So, Bim, I can hit you. Bim, I called you this morning. Bim, yo, I called you. The 919 number. That was me calling you this morning. Yeah.
For real?
Yeah. You know what you did? You did what they say. What Quickly Bit was doing to Cam. He was, the rumors saying that he'd be looking Cam off and all that. You looked me off, man. You ain't give me the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I probably missed the call. I'm at the job, yo.
Yeah, man. It's something about them jobs, man, that everybody has bosses, and we say everybody has a boss except for, well, I guess everybody does, because even when I own my own joint, I'm still the customers with a boss. You know what I'm saying? And so everybody has a boss, and you got to listen to them, or you ain't gonna be successful, man. It's just how the world works. You know what I'm saying? So, like what I was saying about Tibbs, I honestly believe that Tibbs wanted to play these kids, but his bosses made him play them vets that they signed to all that money. And in theory, it don't sound like it makes sense. But if you think about it from a report perspective, like when you report to somebody and they tell you what to do, you got to do it, or they're going to fire you and put somebody else in your spot.
To do your job, you sure right.
Right. So everybody has supervisors, bosses, man. You got to do what they tell you to do, boss. It's just
That's
what
right.
it is.
Man. If that's the man that's paying you, you do that without an attitude. Like I be having when I be having moves, right? And guys be saying to me, yo, the customer want me to keep moving this and moving this. I don't move it 2-3 times. So what?
What?
Clock. If they want you to move it 20 times, that's what you do, because they're paying me and I'm paying you.
Right.
Exactly.
If you got a 3-hour job, a 3-hour job that turns into an 8-hour job in one house, just on the inside, do it. Move it all day.
Right.
And Jay Boogie, I mean, when it comes to business like that, I used to do it and I stopped, bro. I stopped moving. Yeah, I stopped moving people and just stopped moving freights, because when you got people. Yeah, anyway, that's a whole different story. But sorry to get that. That just triggered something right there. My bad, yo.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, man. So what's up with NBA 101?
Man, we did, man. We
Sundays at 4:00.
Sundays at 4:00. Same time with me and the boy Soul Finger, right? I believe he's off vacation right now, so my homie should be with me this Sunday. We looking into the MVP race this week. We got a new person that entered the MVP race. He was on the outside, but he's been making noise, so he's back in the MVP race. And then the East is just getting crazy and crazy, and the West, the West is with the Almighty, the Suns sitting on top of the mountain. So we have about 3 more weeks left in the season. So we gonna see where the NBA season takes us, and see which team gonna pull it out, and which dark horse like Atlanta surprised everybody last year. Which one is gonna be the next dark horse? So look out this Sunday, man. It should be a nice, interesting show. We got the NBA one-on-one mailbag. If y'all guys got questions, please hit us up on Twitter at NBA one-on-one on Twitter.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, man, we just trying to take it one day at a time, man.
Okay.
Yo, what's good, gentlemen?
Yo, what up? D's balling.
What up? What up?
D is balling. D is
What's
balling.
going on, D? What's going on?
Chilling, man. I was feeling the vibe. Everybody was talking nicely. Y'all were having a good conversation. Y'all were building. I like that. I want to build. What's up?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So there are a few things that I was oh gee, let me see. Let me bring in my man real quick. Let me bring in my guy.
Top of the morning to you amazing fellas, man. Top of the morning to you guys. Family.
What's
Happy lunch. Happy lunch. Yeah.
Family. Happy lunch. Yeah, you're right. I got a little something popping right here.
Wow.
Yeah, but I'm on mine right now as we speak. I just gobbled mine down.
What you had? A hot dog?
Nah. Turkey sub.
Pause on the glizzies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stafford, you had a hot dog, huh?
No. I said a turkey sub. I never said a hot dog.
My bad.
They got turkey hot dogs now, though. So
Nah.
My bad.
Yo, freezing.
So what I wanted to get to, man, is there are a lot of narratives in this universe, man. Some of them I am past the level of frustration that I should be, because I think a lot of stuff that we say is recycled nonsense, right? Like people legit hit me, like they DM me, hit me on my phone. Sometimes I see my phone light up. I'm like, oh boy, you know what I'm saying? Like for instance, I said, I like this guy in college, Benedict Mathurin, and when I said it, I got a lot of stuff, like a lot of pushback. Like, oh man, you always like these strange dudes. You always think these guys are gonna come in and save. And now it's like the same people are like, yo, this dude Ben Mathurin might be a top 6 pick, Uncle Freezy. You know what I'm saying? You better get on him right now. Talk about him on the show. And so I give them, you know how you know the number 1 emoji on your thing in your emoji set. What I do is I take that and tap it like 15 times and send it. And they're like, what do you mean number 1? No, I'm saying look up to what you sent me previously. And now you sending me something else. And you sound completely different. And it was like, oh, that was then. This is now. Man, stop. Well, unless you got unlimited text, stop texting me with that nonsense. You know what I mean? The other thing is Tibbs won't play kids.
Mm.
And so I researched it. Look back over the years. When people say Tibbs won't play kids, Derrick Rose was an early 20s league MVP. Taj Gibson was a rookie.
Yeah.
Right?
And Noah. And
all these guys were young.
And to fast forward to now, I think RJ Barrett leads the team in minutes, if I'm not mistaken. At 21 years old.
And RJ Barrett even said that how, Tibbs, he think that Tibbs made him better. So and I hear people saying how they don't want to give him credit for that, but people, as you say, Freezy, people just gonna want to say the recycle stuff they want to say, and it pisses me off too. But sometimes who is me? Some of them say I don't play basketball. I don't know what I'm talking about. But you know what? It is what it is.
It is what it is, bro.
Hey, once again, real quick, shout out to my name, his name in the chat. Salute to you, my man Murphy. Again, hit the like button, show some homage and respect. Appreciate the guys up here. You want to subscribe? Hit the subscribe. Stop looking through the peephole. Just hit the subscribe button. It'll be alert to you. You know what I'm saying? You can come on, listen. We're not asking for much, man.
Right.
Quick question for you guys. Actually, I have a couple for you guys because I want to know what y'all think. Weekend, we had an exciting college basketball weekend. What guys did you see that you guys like? Something that might be on our radar, and what would that radar be seeing at the place where we're at today?
Boy, you know what, D? I've been wanting to come at you so long with this. I need to get your Twitter too, and I need to get your text because
I don't like the sound of this already.
No, because me and Legion been going back and forth, and I needed you in that conversation too because y'all are college kids, right? And to me, I think so. When it comes to the college game, you're very knowledgeable.
Oh, you mean that way? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't have
a song Oaktown 357.
No, you can't. Please let Stafford go. I need to know where he's going. I need to hear it.
You don't remember that Oaktown 357?
Yes,
that MC Hammer?
What Stafford's talking about is provocative right now. Let him finish. I need to hear this shit.
I need to hear some Oaktown 357.
And Ghetto and my two brethren on top, Freezy, and so my number one pick will be Jabari Smith.
Okay.
All right. Followed by Ivy, followed by Matherin, followed by what's his name? Chaz, the tall dude.
Chad Holmgren.
Yeah.
Chad Holmgren.
Chad
Holmgren, followed by I want to say the young man from Nebraska. No, not Nebraska. Keegan Murray. Sorry, I'll put Keegan Murray over there at number 5. I will go what's his name? McGlowan from Nebraska. Okay. I will go Isaiah Wong, Miami. I like him.
Okay.
I like Menek from what's his name from North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I will go. Another guy I'll go with is Timmy.
Who's Timmy?
From
Gonzaga.
Right. I will go with him. Mm-hmm. And give me any one of those guys from any one of the forwards from UCLA, and that will probably round up my top 10.
Okay. So I'm confused because you had a question and then you talked about Legion, then you give me your top 10. I'm confused. So let's start from step 1. So what happened between you and Legion?
Well, me and Legion, we were just going back and forth as far as the college kids and who would be a right pick for the Knicks.
Okay.
And we love Matherin, but his stock went up after that game. So you know what I mean, it is nowhere we might grab him between 9 and 12. Right?
I don't see him being there.
Yeah, it's a long shot, but I like the kid from Nebraska, McGlowan. If we could get him, I think he should be around in our range, and I like him. I want to stay away from Johnny Davis. I want to stay.
Wow.
I want to stay away from him. I want to stay away from AJ. I want to stay away from AJ Griffin.
That I can understand.
Who else I want to stay off? It's a couple more players I want to stay away from, but that's just my little take on the college game for this past weekend. I'm sorry, Freezy.
No, you ain't bother me.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I fell in love with one player this past week. I'm sorry, Dean, because I'm only got one player. That center from Illinois. Whew. I think he
Illinois. That big strong dude.
Kofi Cockburn. Yeah.
I think if we get a pick outside the top 7, that's where I'm going, because then I can use Mitch in a sign and trade to get some guards in here.
I don't. Sorry, Gia. I'm not feeling him like that. I rather take Koloko from Arizona, or the center from Memphis over that guy. What do you think about that?
You can't get no argument from me because I don't have enough research. I just saw that guy and just how fast he was.
Be honest with you, GI, because you're my brother. That's way too high.
Yes, I agree.
I like the center from Duke.
Yeah,
I think
Mark Williams.
I think by the time the individual workouts and stuff get here, let me bring in my guy real quick. There he is.
CWC.
What up?
What's good? What's poppin', y'all?
Happy lunch to you, brother.
Happy lunch to you too. Dunkin' Donut. Couple of people on the panel talking donuts, so I went to Dunkin' Donut.
So, you see, here's the whole thing. Like when you guys are looking at these players, you also want to, and especially if you're solely Knicks, you want to get a guy that will not just be a role player on this team. You want to try to smack out of the park with it. Even when it's a limited draft, you still want to smack out of the park because we are in dire need of talent. So, I would suggest, for you guys to kind of think that way, because, for example, Staff, you said that you like Bryce McGowan's. The issue is that he's a shooting guard.
Yeah.
He's not a point guard, and he shoots under 30% from 3, and he only averaging 1.9 assists, so he's not really playmaking that much. And how would that flow with the other guards that we have on our team?
Well, you said bench players, right? I will bring him as a bench player. That's where I see his role at, coming off the bench. I don't see him as a starter.
Yeah, but we need starters because we need starters.
How do you get them? Because you only have 2 picks. You have a mid to early second and probably an early first, right? So how do you get a guy that's probably a mid to late second round pick? Do you trade that second? Do you trade back in the second round? Acquire 2 second round picks from somebody? And then if you do that, are you really wanting to add 3 more rookies to this already super young team?
And what I find kind of weird is that
you want to add talent, right? I think that's one of D's thing, right? You want to add talent, and I think with him with some development, and when we talk development, that's a big word to people, right? And McGlowan, he does need development, and I'm not saying just to plug him in and he's gonna get us 30, but I do see him as a role player for us if we do get him.
Yeah, but we need talent. We need guys that can start day one.
So you don't think he's a talent in your opinion?
I think he should go back to school and stay another year.
Yeah, or two.
Okay.
or two. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, he's declaring for the draft, and he's going to be between 9 and 12.
Who?
So they say. I don't see that.
The young man from Nebraska, Freezy.
Bryce McGowan is not going to be in the lottery.
Yeah, he is not going. Nah, he ain't going between 9 and 12, bro.
Oh, and everybody's off Ty
Washington,
right?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, thank God.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Well, it's three of them. Ty don't slid out. He's late lottery, early unlottery. He don't slid. The boy from Iowa, his last performance slid him down a little bit.
Really? I thought he played well. His team, he doesn't have a lot of guys around him.
Yeah.
And his twin brother is not good. I didn't know he had a twin brother. And Johnny Davis has a twin brother.
Yeah.
The
Murray brothers are better though together.
I think with him and even Johnny, I've been telling everybody, I do not want Johnny Davis on this roster at all.
Wow.
Thank you.
I'm very interested to hear the reasons why.
Yeah.
That's not because of the last
clutch.
But
he's not clutch.
Let him finish. Wait a minute. Let him finish.
That's not because of his last game, but I'm looking at him and I only see one level. I don't see, I see it's a basketball player, a baller, and a killer. I see him just as a basketball player. I don't see the other two, and the position that he was in was really like they really highly put him up there. Then and I'm not basically saying that because they lost the last game, but the game before that, he had 25, but he had like 14, 15, got his point. His last two performances inside the tournament wasn't really, it didn't carry the meter with me, man. I need somebody when the game is on the line, they're going to do like what Ben did. See, that's what those are the players.
See, but you have to understand something, though. Ben Mathurin has a lot of help on his team. Right, Koloko went off for 22. My bad. Koloko went off for 28. I'm sorry,
and he's got rebounds, and
he's got a lot of help on that team. Keegan and Johnny do not have that help, so you have to understand that when they have the basketball in their hand, they're got 2 or 3 guys are guarding them every possession.
I do see that, but I see Koloko score 2 points in the last 7 minutes. I seen Ben take over that game. Over that game.
I agree.
I see him relentless to loose ball plays. I'm looking at that too. I see him relentless to like rebounds, and just his mind frame is like, give it to me. I want it.
Yeah. But understand.
Before you go, salute to y'all fellas. I gotta go back into work. It was nice chopping up for the little moment of time with y'all.
What's going on? Stop up.
What's up? Yo, Ron, you see me and you, bro. Me and you gonna have to go one-on-one, boy, because you been off the chain, man.
Damn, Stafford want to smoke with everybody today.
It don't matter who.
He'll get the smoke.
Hey, this Knicks team will do to you, man.
I hear that. Hey, CWW, calm down because I got hard will for you. You calm down. Calm down.
Me and we're on the same page.
Yeah, man.
Stephen, don't go nowhere right quick. Because I'm going to say something I don't think nobody's been thinking about, man. At least I ain't heard nobody. I came in late. I was on earlier listening to Freezy. I was getting my workout on. Then, I had to escape for a little bit and I came back. But I don't know if anybody touched on this. Y'all ready for this? And I ain't talking about the DOC. You know what I mean? I'm going to tell y'all like this, man. I really see them trading this pick. They're going to get somebody established, and I'm going to tell you why, and this is my reason why. Tom Thibodeau don't have time to wait on no player. Tom Thibodeau don't have time to wait, players. If Tom Thibodeau wait on a young player to come in here at that point guard position and develop, Tom Thibodeau is going to be gone. And they already realize they done failed Tom Thibodeau by what they've done to him. So at this point, not only is Tom Thibodeau in trouble, the front office is in trouble too. So they got to put up a shut up because Dolan told them, hey, the decision to get rid of Tom is on you. So translation, Dolan already got in his mind, they on ticking time bomb, both of them. The front office and Tom Thibodeau. I'm telling you right now, look for this team to do what they should have done this year. They're going all in. They're going to swing for the fences. They're going to trade that pick to somebody in this association that already got an established point guard that's ready to rock, ready to roll in the Tom Thibodeau mode. They're not going for no young player.
Ron,
They're not doing it.
Ron, the only reason I haven't said it this year is because see how adamant you are, lad. I said the Knicks cannot, the way we just finished and the way Tibbs wants to play ball, there's no way that the Knicks is going to draft 2 or 3 players from this 21 draft and put them on this team and get them in. And it's so they're going to trade the picks. Then when they didn't, Ron, I was like, wait, what? I don't trust this front office at all. So
I don't trust them to draft one. That's why I think they're going to trade. I think they're going to trade, man. And it's all about self-preservation at this point, man, because the ship is sinking. And the best way to do that is to get somebody established something that you already know about, opposed to, because I always had a saying, and I can't say it no more because of the way I speak now. When I used to have a little foul mouth, I used to say things about these players that you get out of college. They look great, but I'm going to say it in a clean version. They undrafted players, fellas. I mean, they're drafted players.
Right.
They're unproven. And I used to put some expletive with it. So you can kind of figure where I'm going. These guys are unproven, man. You don't know what they're going to do. Hey, we're going on potential. But the known is somebody who's already in this association that can get you there. And I think that's the route they're going to go. Because if, to your point, G.I., had they went the route of getting a rookie point guard last year, everybody could have rocked with it because that's year one. You see what I'm saying? But now the fact that they didn't swing at the end of year one to move this thing forward. Cleveland, I have a saying too, y'all heard it before I didn't say it. Life lessons learned by the things you go through. Either you learn from your lessons or the things others do. Cleveland Cavaliers learned from my example. They threw all their chips in and they built their team the right way. When they looked like they was going to hit, you saw what they did during the trade deadline. They made their team even better. So the thing is, the New York Knicks is at a crossroads, and Tom Thibodeau's career is at a crossroads, and Leon Rose if he want to stay here. I'm fully anticipating them to trade those picks for somebody that's an established point guard in this association. I'm not looking at none of these young guys, unless it's somebody that can't miss. And then even then, you can miss on them because they're unproven.
Yeah. Okay, you say that, man. When you say trade the pick for a point guard, what established point guard are you looking for that you're saying that you want on this team? Because majority of the point guard the teams that got point guards on there, you know what I'm saying? Unless there's somebody like OKC got multiple ball players, you know what I'm saying? I can understand that. What type of point guard are you looking to come on this team that you trade for?
I think that's the first place I'm looking. I think they're gonna go back to OKC. I think that's one of the places they're going to look at. I think that's one of the places. And that Mitchell Robinson, and don't be surprised if Mitchell Robinson be assigned to trade somewhere too. Because Mitch ain't coming back. Mitch, I didn't know until like about 4 days ago, I didn't know he's with Rich Paul. You can cancel that. He's not coming back here.
A couple things. So, Jay Boogie, the last thing about Ben real quick is that you notice with Ben, he doesn't handle the ball a lot. He gets the ball a lot, and he's a very good cutter. So keep that in mind in the NBA. He won't be doing a lot of creating to start. It's something he'll have to build, and he's going to need a good team around him because he could stretch the floor. He could definitely attack the closeout, and he's very good in transition. But as far as self-creation, he has a little bit of an issue with that. So look to that. As far as trading the pick, Ron, I will say this. Are you sure you want to trade a pick with a coach that might only stick around for 20, 25 games?
Well, that's the thing. It ain't the coach head on the block, too. That's why I said that. If you notice when I made my statement, it wasn't just for Tom. It's a package deal. Leon in trouble, too. Leon is in trouble.
But you still sacrificed. Right. So whether it's like the current front office or a new front office, you still sacrifice the future,
right?
So I mean, yeah, it's tough, man. That's
tough. But think about it though, Freezy, man. What we've been doing as a franchise, it ain't far fetched to think that it would happen.
Yeah.
Because what's the right thing to do ain't always the right thing that we do.
Right. Right.
And another thing too is that when you mentioned Cleveland, right? Cleveland drafted Garland. They drafted Mobley. When they acquired Jared Allen, he was still a puppy. I think it was his second year. So you see, they drafted and built.
Drafted well and traded well.
The GM is on record. My bad. Their president of basketball operations is on record talking about how they decided to take that route purposely and to build it from the ground up and to develop these guys like Garland and like Mobley and stuff of that nature, and then have something sustainable. So then they could make a trade like for Levert or something of that nature. You see, we're not there. There is two different timelines. It's two different.
Exactly. You got Tibbs, and then you got where everybody wants us to go, which is build through the youth. So it's a crossroads. A decision going to be made, and we're going to find out draft night where this franchise lies. We're going to find out if they team Tibbs or they team the future. We're going to find out. But I would not be surprised if they go with Tibbs' model because Leon Rose's head is on the block too. I truly believe he's on the hot seat. And you know what, hey fellas, I'm gonna tell y'all this something I thought about. You know, we've been talking about for a long time, like the Knicks haven't had no stability. You know, it either came from front office guys or even the coaches. And it dawned on me. You know why we went through so many coaches and front office guys? For the very reason that we're talking about right now. Lack of a point guard. A point guard is like the quarterback. It stabilizes everything. When you got a quarterback, your coach going to be around long. If you don't have a point guard, translation, you got a coach killer, front office killer. And that's what I was sitting there thinking about that thing. I was like, man, why we can't get it right? Why we can't get it right? It all come back to the point guard. If we have a point guard, you're going to have a coach that's going to last more than 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. It's like having a quarterback in the NFL. Like having a quarterback.
Yeah, man. A good quarterback going to say, just like, hey, think about Belichick. Belichick was almost out of New England. Tom Brady saved him.
He was out. You know, he got fired by Cleveland.
Yeah, he got fired by Cleveland.
Yep.
So the whole thing is that, and of course, Nick will probably do like Nick things, right? But I think it's a very bad idea to get at the draft pick, go ahead and get somebody like a Malcolm Brogdon that can't stay healthy, and Tibbs is gone after 25, 30 games.
Yeah.
I think that's a very bad idea.
I agree with that.
Right.
They're going to have to make a decision which route they're going to have to go, man. Period. Stop all this yerking jerking. Like, I'm interested tonight to see this lineup. I heard Julius Randle is is out with a sore quad. Is that right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's damage control. But Obi, there's your opportunity tonight, Obi. Obi, I hope you're hearing, Obi. This your chance again, Obi.
And I hope they heard me when I told them that they should sit him for the rest of the season. I thought they should have did it after 65 games, but if they do it 70, 71, that's even better. So
say it again. How long you need to sit?
For the rest of the season.
Wait, what happened? Obi got benched?
No. That's the type
No. Randall's not playing tonight, and it could lead to like an assumption that maybe they're shutting him down for the season.
I hope
hopefully.
so. But Obi's. Well, let me leave him alone. I think y'all gonna realize part of the reason we were losing this year is because of Obi. But I don't want to be too hard on him. I want to wait till the season. But man, when he's out there, it is because especially when we started playing better, and he was getting his minutes, and he would run right to the corner. I mean, if it's not a break, if it's a half-court offense, he runs and he gets wide open 3-pointers. And I'm saying, of course he's getting wide open 3-pointers. When the offense flows away from him, they look and say, "Oh, that's Obi. We're not." So he's standing there all the time, catching and shooting.
Ain't nobody scrambling to close on Obi.
Ugly, and it's his shot. It's not even close to going in. He hit back-to-back. He probably hit back-to-back threes one time all season. It's disgusting the way they got him playing.
You know what it is, Ghetto?
Yeah.
As a player, you got to recognize what you do well, and you got to maximize that. So if he has an ability where he can run past his guy and blow past him, why are you standing in the corner trying to shoot a jump shot?
Because that's what they're telling him to do.
Athletic ability and get to the basket. Because when he goes to the basket, the guy athletic ability, I mean, he looked like he just floating in the air. Because some of them shots I saw him made the other night, I'm like, wow. It just pops. But he don't do that enough. He gets content to sit in that corner and shoot threes. You're not a 3-point shooter yet. Do what you can do.
Yeah, but I think that's what they're telling him to do, because everything he did in college is not what he's doing on the Knicks. They're using him completely different than what he was in 4 years of Dayton.
That's the whole problem with Obi. Obi don't know how to play right now. Are coming at him that they want him to do, on top of the situation with him and Julius Randle. See, as a ball player, you know what I'm saying? Like, my freshman year in high school at Benjamin Cardozo, I know when I came in there from junior high school, I was smashing everybody that was in the backcourt. But Ron DeClario didn't put me in there in front of them guys. And it bothered me, knowing that I should be having more playing time if I ain't starting, or I should be starting. But one night he called me and said, listen, yo, tomorrow game, get ready because I'm starting you. I didn't want to tell you at practice. I wanted to tell you now. You know what I'm saying? That elevated me. See, Obi needs an elevation. You know what I'm saying? He needs an elevation, and he needs something to happen. Something like this can be beneficial to Obi's game. You know what I'm saying? Because he don't have to worry about, I'm getting ready to come out the game. I can't play freely. I can't make a mistake. You know, all those things are hindering his game outside of him. They just want him to be in certain areas and play in certain positions. Now he can run and do his whole complete game and show his whole effort for us the game. Like, when I say efforts tonight, like Freezy, you say, I don't need you with 2-3 rebounds, dude. If you're starting, I need you to have 7, 8, 9 rebounds tonight. You know what I'm saying? I need you with maybe 3, 4 assists. I need you with a couple of buckets facing the basket, not dunking and all that. I need you with a couple of buckets facing the basket.
Block a shot, Obi.
I just need your motor.
Put somebody on the poster.
Yeah, I just not even a poster.
Not with a dunk, with a block.
Yeah, I just need his motor to be up and changed differently, man. Because I do know when you don't know what you're doing or what to expect going into a game, you know, it can hinder your game. It can put your game back. You know what I'm saying? So
and Juice kind of looks scared too when he's out there. If you watch him play in G League, not that I'm certifying G League, I'm just saying that when you see it, he looks free. Where when he's playing with Tom, he's like, it looks like he's walking on eggshells. And that's not how your talent develops. Personally.
Absolutely, D's. Absolutely, I agree with you on that, man. With Deuce, it's like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You watch him in the G League, total different player. You watch him. He's just like you say. He's tiptoeing. You know what I mean? Like that kid trying to sneak to go get that cookie out that dish before mama come down and catch you.
Right.
You know what I mean? He just waiting on it to happen. So yeah, man. Hey, Obi. You know what I want to see from Obi tonight? I want to see Obi play with some aggression on that court, man. Get that smile off your face. I want to see. I don't think I've seen Obi play mad. That's what I want to see. I want to see him like, you know what, man? You've been having me rotting on this bench all season long. I'm going to show you why I need to be in this starting lineup. I'm coming for my spot. I mean, think about it. This dude was National Player of the Year.
Yeah, man. Okay, so Obi needs more than that. Obi needs a heart transplant.
The Wizard of Oz. No.
Obi Toppin is the new Frank Ntilikina, bro.
Oh,
we have these.
Man.
We have these. We've been having these conversations about our lottery picks forever. Like Obi Toppin is the new Kevin Knox.
Oh my goodness!
Just because we drafted him,
the funny part is he said Knox, and I'm not stealing your thunder. Could you imagine if Knox was standing around in the spaces that Obi? We'd be a much better team.
You're right.
But that Ifs pick has been a bad pick, boy. That spot has been putting us in a conundrum. I won't say it's a bad pick. The jury's still out on Obi for me, man. I ain't ready to write Obi off yet.
I think it'll be a great idea for Obi for his career. I think it's best we just trade him on draft night and just have him play somewhere where he can. Hey man, if you can get a second pick out of it, you take it because what else you gonna get for him? You call him the Tin Man. What do you think you're gonna get out of him?
But Deez, I'm gonna agree with you on that, man. Because if you, you just spoke volumes without saying much. If we're not gonna use him to his potential, the way he plays the game is no need for him to be here, and that's no knock to people that love him. I love him, but I'm a realist with him.
What's his potential, though?
I'm a realist with him. His potential is a guy that can fly up and down the court, can get you hustle points. If he had a point guard that can get him the ball in open space, because I'm telling you, it's sickening to watch. I watch this guy a lot getting open, and the point guards are not finding him. Alex Burks dribbling with his head down, Obi flying to the basket. The ball is not coming in. The only person who finds Obi is RJ and Quick. And Quick really just starting to find Obi again. So, players like that going to get lost if you ain't got that kind of point guard. So, to D's point, you got to get him somewhere where they can use it. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to stick out to it. In the right situation, that guy's a walking double-double. I truly believe it.
You see, Freezy, the thing, too, is that what Obi does well, he's not able to do on the team. So, for example, he'll be dynamite in transition if you're just going up and down. Right?
Showtime.
Well, I don't know about all that, but I'm just saying that, he would be more effective. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I used him in a flex cut on a flex offense, I think he'll be highly effective there. Like, if he was just a lob threat, I think he'll be highly effective. But you notice those three things I just named, he's not used like that on this team.
He's not used like that because
get in the corner. Get in timeout.
Well, for one. Okay.
No, go for it.
Wow,
I saw Obi last year, man. With the playing time that I was shocked that he was getting last year in the playoffs, do some things.
You and me both.
That's just not like, if I'm gonna trade Obi, I trade Obi this year, because it ain't really but like 7 guys that are going the first round and on 23 that's in this draft. It's a weak draft. But if I'm gonna trade Obi, I can get it. You get a first round pick for Obi this year because it's trash. But I'm not giving Obi up for a second round pick because he don't have guard. He don't have a guard and none of that. I mean, he played good with Derrick Rose, and I hate to even use Derrick Rose's name. But some people just need some things, and you're right. You shouldn't need another player to make your game better. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of at fault with the Knicks as far as his game.
I agree, man.
So here's the problem, Jay Boogie. Like, if you look at our contracts and stuff, we might have the same roster next year, right? Now, if let's say Tom sticks around for half the season, right? Now Obi is going to, next season, right? Now Obi is going to be entering the 4th year of his rookie contract, and his price value may be more dried up than ever. Right. And that's why timing is everything. And it's good if you're not going to use him, if you're not going to properly utilize him. Why the hell is he on your roster? And if so, get something for it.
That's why you steal Obi. See, you was in this same position when you was in this same position before with Mitch, and you didn't steal and give him some money when he was trash. And now all of a sudden, this man's Stockton went out the window. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to pay or let him go. So you got to take advantage of some people at certain points of time of their game. You know what I'm saying? You can steal Obi. You can steal Obi for $10 million for 2 years, or maybe $12 million for 3 years. You steal him because he knows his game is not there.
Well, that's why it's very important. And me and Freezy talked about this. Like, if RJ Barrett was utilized in year 1, how he's been utilized this year, we would have seen a totally different RJ Barrett year 3. Right. So it's the same thing with Obi. If he would have been utilized like that year 1 with some consistent minutes, we might be seeing a different Obi right now. I'm not saying all-star perennial. I'm not going there. I'm just saying we just would have seen a different version of it because we would have been working with it a lot earlier.
The biggest issue we have with Obi, the biggest, we have a player we paid $100+ million to, and we want to ride him to the hills. 34 to 36 minutes a game. Yeah. Obi's his backup. Obi doesn't play multiple positions. You know they say positionless basketball. Obi's not positionless. He can't play 1, 2, 3, or 5. He cannot. So he's not positionless.
Big problem.
He can't play the 4.
Hold on. So Obi has clearly been drafted to be Randle's backup. We're never going to get his full potential in 15 to 18 minutes a game. It's not going to happen. So you have to cut bait and find you. If Randle's still your guy, Obi or Randle cannot come back on this team.
Well, I hope not.
They both can't come back.
So
I hope Randle's gone.
So now I have a question, right? Let's say, for example, they sit Randle for the rest of the year, right? And let's just say they exclusively play Obi. Would you experiment playing him at the 3? And I'll say it, just hear me out, because you're losing anyway. You're not going anywhere, right? This is experimentation, right? Mm-hmm. And you play him at the 3 because let's say, for example, you sit Randle, and let's say Obi does well for the rest of the season, right? He's going to be right back behind Randle next year playing 7-10 minutes. So I'm saying that if you're going to keep him on the roster, right? Because, you got to think of all these alternatives, right? If you're going to keep him on the roster, right, would you at least try to have him experiment with the 3 so it could be something that could be utilized next year and maybe he can get some spot minutes there?
I think the answer to that has to be yes. But we talked about that in July and August and September because we knew Randle was going to get this year. We didn't know the results were going to be bad, but we said one thing we all would have put $5 on. Randle's going to average at least 32 minutes a game.
Deez, I think you on to something, though. When you said playing for the rest of the season, but I'm playing him for the rest of the season at Randle's spot. I'm shutting Randle down for the rest of the season. And I'm going to tell you why I'm shutting Randle down. Randle at this point in time, man, he's like a ticking time bomb. You don't know what you're gonna get from night to night with Julius Randle, especially in the Garden. I mean, the guy is volatile. He's unstable. You have to do what's right for that guy and get him somewhere. Let him go see somebody, man. Go get some help. Seriously, man. I'm not even cracking no jokes. I'm dead serious because Julius Randle's head is not right. This is not the same dude. And anybody that think he's the same dude just because you look at 25 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists, something's wrong with your eyesight. I mean, this guy is not the same dude. So you go ahead and let that thing I like about Obi playing for the rest of the season at his natural position is you get to build his trade value if you want to move off him. Or you go ahead and keep him if you want to get Julius Randle up out of here. And I'm a proponent. I'm going to move Julius Randle with his 25, 10, and 5 before I move Obi. Because Julius Randle is a cancer.
But okay. All right. So here's the thing. Obi is trash, right? When you ask what Obi does in the half court, nobody can explain to me what Obi Toppin, because 80% of what you score in an NBA game is what you get in the half court. When we ask what does Obi do in the half court, nobody can answer.
Guess why, Freezy? I don't know what he is in the half court because we don't utilize him in the half court.
And the reason why is because Obi doesn't have NBA skills. Obi Toppin
that might be true.
Obi Toppin is a lesser Kenny Skywalker. Right. And listen, and I'm not bashing Obi the person, but an elite athlete at a small school, right? Athleticism. That's what Obi's athleticism at a not a small school, because Dayton's not a small school, but I'm talking in terms of NCAA basketball program wise, it's not a Kentucky, it's not a Duke, it's not a North Carolina, right? What I'm saying is the dude's skills in college don't translate to the NBA. They just don't.
Well,
right?
I'm gonna tell you
because if you ask, like, is Obi Toppin agile and dexterous? No, but he's fast in a straight line, right? When do you see NBA players in a half court go in a straight line to the basket and dunk? How often do you see that?
Freezy stole my position. How could Obi play in the half court?
Freezy, I'm gonna tell you like this. We ain't been using that kid in the half court. You know why? Because Julius Randle, somebody just said about the minutes Julius getting. G.I. just said it. Obi ain't really getting. When Obi come in that second unit is running.
Well, even when they are in the half court, he's stuck at a corner, so you're still not utilizing him as to what he could do.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, okay, all right.
I'm gonna break something down for y'all, so y'all can get a different understanding of the basketball court. All right. Now you know how you can run a certain play for a certain shooter on one side of the court, right?
Right.
It worked, right? You know you can run that same shooting type play for that same person, but reverse to the opposite side of the court, right? All right. So let me give y'all some game real quick. We only played 2 positions on this team all year long. And the positions that he's played is the 5 and the 3. Obi has never played the 4. We don't have a 4 on offense. Tom's offense doesn't consist of having a power forward on this right here. The power forward is just a name. He plays power forward on defense, point blank. When Obi is in the game and Cam is in the game, you have to realize that Cam and Obi are running the same 3 spot, just on opposite sides at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So you only got 2 threes. You don't have nobody playing the 4. Why you think Julius always faces the rim? You never see Julius posting up down there consistently, because Tom doesn't insert that into his offense. You know what I'm saying? Only time Tom had that inserted into his offense is when he had Joakim Noah and Al Horford in them back then. He's running 2 threes when he has Cam and Obi in the game. And when Obi is playing center, he's just playing center. So he's never playing the 4 spot. So that's why you see him running in the corners. Y'all talking about him only being in the corners. That's because all the threes go in the corner. If you pay attention to it, Cam go in the corner. Kevin Knox went in the corner. Reggie Bullock went in the corner. That's because he's only running threes. He's not running a power forward spot. That's Obi's problem. And it's not Obi's problem. That's Tom's problem. That he's not inserting the offense all the way around throughout the whole team. The 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5. He only utilizing 4 positions out of 5 players. That's the center and the 3 and the 2 and the 1. He's never utilizing the 4, man. Watch and see it tonight.
Oh, you said the 3, right? You said the 3.
No, he's utilizing the 5, the 3, the 2, and the 1. He's never utilizing the 4 at all. Period.
So basically what he's saying is he's using Obi as a power forward in name only, but he's playing him like he's a 3.
That's all.
And on both sides of the court. I agree with that.
He played with Julius and he played the 5. That's why you seen him up high with the dribble handoffs with Mitch and used to get those lobs. You know what I'm saying? He don't need them no more from playing in the 5. They just got that man running inside a 3. That's it. Tom has not implemented anything that can help that man game. And that's a problem with Tom. You're not being able to adapt to certain situations. He doesn't see the floor all the way. Whereas whatever talent he got, he can put him in a position to make them succeed in the best way that they can. Instead of he's taking that man out of what he can succeed in and making him in something that he's completely not, a 3.
Well, I guess I'm confused. And you can help me, big bro. What are you suggesting he's going to excel in? We agree he is below average dribbler in the NBA.
Right.
He's mid-range to long range. His strength is to move without the ball, come off of picks, and be anywhere around the rim for a lob. I'm just wondering what he would be able to do that Tibbs isn't letting him. What is he able to do that because you just can't you just can't play fast pace all the time.
Right.
You can't. It's impossible. You got to play half court. I just don't see where you saying that Obi could be better in the half court. What does those plays look like?
You could put him in as a hustler. Put him as a hustler, where he can hustle, set screens, you know what I'm saying? Do any and everything that consists around that rim. Dirty work, you know what I'm saying? And everybody say he can't do that. We don't know that because he's never been in that position. But you got to utilize him in some type of hustling form. I get where you come and talking about he has no handle. I know that. I know he has no handle. That's why he can't face the rim. But he's not a shooter. But they keep putting him in the corner. You got to find something else for him to do that consists of him being around that paint outside of pick, reverse, turn around, look for a lob. Something else. And that's on you, Tom. That's on the coach. You the coach. I know you got more different offensive sets. Go back to your old offensive set because what you're trying to run is still Woody's offense. If you watch Indiana play, it's the same thing.
Freezy, you're right about Obi. I never try to dissuade that you're wrong about him. What I'm saying is this: if you wasted an 8th pick on him, can you at least do something to get something back?
Get something for
him. Right. So that's the whole case with Obi. We know he ain't gonna fit here. Okay, he needs to be somewhere where they're playing like this. And even he'll look bad defensively, right? And maybe he'll average 12 points, right? And maybe have some highlight dunks on ESPN. And maybe it'll never amount to anything. But for Obi Toppin, that is his best position to be at because he cannot play with the game slow down.
Right.
And he's had 2 seasons to develop a corner 3. I know he hasn't played that way, but he still had 2 seasons to develop a corner 3.
Right.
To at least attack the closeout. But
and I understand what you're saying. Attack the closeout is item number 1.
Yeah.
Attack the close because you don't have to have dynamic handle to attack the closeout. All it means is 1 to 2 dribble. Attack the closeout doesn't mean dunk. Attack the closeout can be 1 to 2 dribble pull up where they close out hard. You take 2 dribbles, you shoot a 10-footer,
or make a decision.
Or make a decision. And Obi can't do that. And as Knicks fans, we blame when we bust in the lottery, the first thing we do is blame Jeff Hornacek. I'm sorry, for Frank. Right? Or we blame David Fizdale for Kevin Durant.
Right.
Or we blame Tom Thibodeau for Obi Toppin.
You
notice the thing? If the draft pick is a bust, the first thing we do is blame the coach. You can't Jay Boogie. I get what you're saying, right? But at some point, Obi Toppin has to take control of his own career.
Yeah.
If everything has to be manicured perfectly for Obi, he's not an
no
NBA
bueno.
player.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't an NBA player.
T-Mac said he had an interview and he was talking about his first year in Toronto and how the coach wasn't messing with him because it was an older style coach, right? And he was young. And here's the point. It goes right into what you're saying. If you got it, you got it.
Right.
And if you do have it, we'll see signs of it.
Right.
You see? And then it's a case where it's like, okay, he just needs more minutes. Or like, his role just has to expand a bit. Like, and I think with Obi, it's been 2 years and he's had some really nice dunks. He shows flashes of him being faster than anybody else or any big on the court. But as far as being a basketball player and being able to take guys off the dribble, have a mid-range game, expand your game to a corner 3, be effective in your post game with your footwork, it's not there. None of it.
None of it.
Well, I can tell you this. Jay Boogie touched on it. That Atlanta series opened my eyes with Obi. And the problem as the organization and the coaching staff, they didn't build off of that. Because Obi surprised every last one of us. But I got to address this because shout out to my man, Kevin Middleton. I saw his comment where he talked about, said, Julius Randle was my greatest Knicks. Never, ever, ever put my name with Julius Randle as no greatest Knick ever. Anybody who know Ron Cleveland, my greatest Knick, period, point blank, is PE, and I ain't talking about Public Enemy. So you know who it is.
Right.
Patrick Ewing. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's my greatest Knicks ever. Never said that, but no Julius Randle. You know what I mean? And when you look at players, this the thing with us as fans is when people hear you big up, give respect to a player, they figure that if you change off of that something went wrong. In sports, everything is subjective.
Right.
Subject to change.
Yeah, we opine about everything. Yeah, we opine about everything.
If you balling, and y'all heard me say this before, if you balling, you get the game ball. If you ain't balling, you get the game thrown. And I'm going to call it like I see it. Julius Randle ain't the same guy he was last year. Everybody knows that. I would be a fool to sit here and say, yeah, Julius Randle, he that guy. What? Y'all look at me like I'm crazy. Y'all be wanting to get me drug tested. This ain't the same dude. You know what I mean? So to do that guy a favor, man, I think the minute he put that thumbs down, Freezy, to your point, you talked about this the other day about it. Everything with that guy changed, man. The dynamic changed.
Right.
And not only within the Knicks organization, with how the league viewed Julius Randle as well. So much so that they couldn't even trade the guy because the guy value was down in the dumps. So the best thing to do to save him for himself, like D's ball, and say, shut him down for the rest of the season. If you want to protect what you done built back up in him, just shut him down, man, and let him work on himself. Let him work on himself, man. Let him go away to the house, do whatever. You know, get some me time. But the rest of the season, I couldn't have you come back. You're a detriment. I even saw something what he did with RJ the last game, man. I was shocked. And I think it might have been Obi. He swung Obi's hand away. RJ didn't want to really have no dealing with him. You know what I mean? You can't have that, man. You can't have that. So it's time to move on for Julius Randle.
And he got the perfect. He got one of the perfect injuries outside of something being broke to sit him down for the rest of it. Because last week I was talking about, give him, it's three phases to the hamstring: the pull, the stretch, and the tear. Just act like he got a pull hamstring, you can sit him down. You don't want and just sit him down the rest of the year. So I hope they sit him down for the rest of the year. And just because, I'm going to bat on some things that I see Obi could be worked with and on, it doesn't mean that I am not saying that he was the right pick at the 8th spot. I want that to be known in the chat. I do know that was a terrible pick. I'm just saying it's some things that they could do for us, better in his game. Because Kevin Knox can shoot the tray. He can shoot the tray.
Got that right.
But he couldn't get on the court. So, I mean.
Right. So, Frizzy, I haven't been able to talk to you lately. So I have a question, right? Knowing that we're not going to make the plan, knowing that we could be out of a 10th spot or 9th spot, right?
Right.
And now with the reports of Tibbs coming back and stuff, how do you feel about all that and your projections for next year?
So what do you want? Do you want my wish list, or do you want what I think will happen?
Since you're putting it to my discretion, I would like your true feelings on it, and then what would you do about it?
All right, so we're gonna run it back, right? And the Knicks PR is gonna sell it as the second year is gonna be better because we made the playoffs last year in the second year of signing vets.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you remember, Reggie Bullock was in his second year with the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
Elfrid Payton was in his second year with the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
Julius Randle, all of this stuff. These guys, they had one bad year together, and then the next year, they developed something and made the playoffs. So Knicks PR is going to sell this run it back thing as, well, the next year is going to be better because we have another year together. And Kemba Walker is going to have some miraculous thing, right? And it's not going to be true. I'm just telling you what I think Knicks PR is going to say. Kemba Walker is going to have some miraculous thing, like, oh, he went to Germany. This Dr. Schmidt figured out a way to do the knee thingy. Right? You remember the thing Tiger Woods had? Remember they were like, oh, Tiger Woods got this cutting edge thing.
Platelet rich.
Yeah.
Knee surgery.
Yeah.
Enrichment. Knee enrichment.
Yeah. And he came back, and after like 4 months, he was the same dude he was before the thing, right? And so I think the Knicks are going to run it back. I think they are going to come hell or high water. I think they're going to re-sign Mitchell Robinson, right?
They better,
because the alternative is looking for a point guard and a center.
Yeah,
with
right?
No money.
Yeah, right, exactly. Right. So you can't run it back and not bring everybody back. You know what I'm saying? So I think and what's going to happen is the Knicks are going to draft another guy that plays RJ's position. It's bound. It's what they do. It's what they do. Yeah, it's what it's the reason why they signed. They drafted Quentin Grimes when small forwards and centers were on the board.
Yeah,
right. It's like when we got Shumpert and had Hardaway.
Yeah, why? It's just And so what's going to happen is we're not going to
vice
trade
versa.
Obi. We're not going to trade Obi. Derrick Rose is going to put up workout videos on Twitter. Oh, I'm in the best shape of my life. And you know what I'm saying? Coming back, and Knicks fans are going to get excited about the same thing that we did this year, except with a bow on it. Tibbs is going to you're going to see Tibbs in a conversation with Steve Kerr somewhere. They're going to talk for like 15 minutes. And the Knicks fans are going to be like, he got advice from Steve Kerr. And this is how off seasons always happen with the Knicks, bro. It's more about the PR aspect of things and less about what the organization has done. And my first.
Who is Knicks PR?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Who's Knicks PR again?
The GOAT. Knicks PR is the MVP of the league, bro. You know this. Michael Jordan is jealous of Knicks PR, bro.
Spin control.
and so, yeah, and so Ron, and so what's going to happen is Grimes is going to have limited minutes next year, and it's going to frustrate us.
Freezy?
Because Fournier and Burks will be back, so it'll be Fournier, Burks, RJ Grimes,
mm-hmm.
And so Grimes' path to more minutes is going to be blocked. You're bringing back Kemba and Derrick Rose. They're both on contract.
Oh, I forgot about Kemba.
Right, and on top of that, if the Knicks are smart, they're going to bring in another veteran point guard, which means
you ain't gonna see
no Miles McBride, right? No, hey, Nerlens Noel is still on the contract, and right now he looks like the worst contract in the NBA, right? Because he signed to about $9 million, and you can't trade him. You can't trade an injury-prone big. Yep. That's just you can trade an injury-prone guard. Look how many teams Victor Oladipo played for, right? You can't trade an injury-prone big though, because bigs stay hurt. And if this dude has a hurt reputation, he stays hurt. That's his reputation. Nobody's going to trade for that, right? And so they're going to run it back, and all these dudes are going to block the progress of the youth movement. And on top of that, when the Knicks pick 12, they're either going to draft a shooting guard or a power forward.
They're going to draft Tari Eason. That's what makes this thing so funny, man. Even though it'll frustrate you, is that everything you're saying is believable. That could very well happen.
You're right, and they're probably going to draft Tari Eason, and we'll never see him because we never see Obi.
Yeah,
we have Julius Randle.
Yeah, he's third on the depth chart at power forward.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell y'all my stance on this team.
Well, let me go back and forth for Freezy real quick because I asked him a question and he answered it. So Freeze, that is hilarious, by the way, and could very well be true, right? But does Tom and the administration make it out of next year?
No, of course not.
Okay, now so you're with me with the 25-30 game thing,
right? And so. It'll happen like this. Tibbs will get fired in early January. They'll promote somebody. Johnny.
Damn, he should make it that far in January. Crap.
Yeah. So he'll make it to January, and then come this time next season, they're gonna fire everybody in the front office, clean house, right? Just in enough time to give everybody the candidates, the people that are looking for jobs, enough time to showcase themselves with their current teams, and the Knicks will next offseason be hiring on doing the same process all over. It'll be the Steve Mills thing all over again. and Ron Cleveland will be frustrated because somebody out of this draft is going to be a great player, and the Knicks will have passed on that player. And he'll be very conceivable. And he'll be a star somewhere. And it may be somebody. Like, you're gonna hear rumors. The Knicks could have had Keegan Murray. All they needed to do was add Jericho Sims to the trade, and they didn't. And now Keegan Murray is in such and such place balling out. Right? It always happens like that. The one guy that flies under the radar because of one thing or another. Like people just don't like Keegan Murray because he's not flashy. That's the only reason why.
But he got game.
I don't like flashy ball players. Me personally, I don't like them. I don't care for flashy. I don't care for that.
Right, but he's workman, like he's a yeoman guy. You know what I'm saying? He's a worker bee. And worker bees are not people like bumblebees. Bumblebees are big, they make noise, but if you ever see a bumblebee, he a big bee with little wings. You know what I'm saying? Can't even fly right. They call him a bumblebee because he's awkward. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so what happens is the Knicks are gonna pass on a guy like Keegan Murray, like or not passing the draft, but the opportunity will be there for the Knicks to acquire that spot to select Keegan Murray.
Yeah.
And you're gonna hear a rumor from Mark Berman or somebody like, all they had to do was add Alec Burks to the trade, but the Knicks value Alec Burks' versatility off the bench, and Keegan Murray is going to be a future All-Star.
Yeah. I saw how you dropped that little beehive thing, man. I like that. It's good. You're getting into it a little bit.
Yeah, man.
So, Rob, what do you think next year? Keep in mind, we're not making a play-in. We're probably going to be outside of a 7th, 8th pick. Okay, so all our guys that we want is most likely going to be gone. Right? Tibbs is coming back. From the contracts that I see, everybody coming back.
Everybody's coming back. Yep.
Everybody coming back. So, what's your projections? What do you see?
What I see. This is what I do, D's. And I think I kind of alluded to it. If you're making a decision that Tom Thibodeau is coming back to this team next season, you know what you need to do in the offseason? You need to move every and anything to make this thing fit to Tom Thibodeau's liking. So in other words, what I'm telling you is, ain't no future as long as Tom Thibodeau on here. It's all about the right now as long as Tom on this team. And I'm on the side of wanting to see this thing build with the young guys, seeing this thing continue. Like what Frieza said, go draft these guys, man, and let them rock up. The only way you're gonna know if they're gonna become something, you got to draft young players and let them play. And that's something we ain't never done. But if Tom is on this roster, and that's why I'm already feeling that they're going to get rid of this draft picks in this upcoming draft, is because they're going to go all in with Tom. And guess what? If they do that and the thing blow up, we don't do anything, we get even worse, then you got all the right in the world to get rid of the front office and Tom Thibodeau, and people can't say, well, you didn't give Tom Thibodeau a chance. You had 3 years. Right. And you got the best roster that you've had in 3 years. And if you can't do nothing with that, I ain't letting you come back for number 4. Ain't happening. So essentially what I think gonna happen, D's, we're gonna be back at square one again in a couple years, man. I hate to say it. Yeah. I hate to say it because Tom Thibodeau's style of coaching is outdated. It's outdated, man. He's not getting with the times. He's not. Yeah. He says all the right things, but he's not, because you keep seeing it. You know, when you see something that's working and you go back to what ain't working,
right?
That tells me you got a problem.
So Tibbs won't even run ghost screens, right? And y'all know what a ghost screen is. You know how a guard will run baseline and come up top and fake like he's going to screen, right? He even sells it. He might push the defender like, "Hey, I'm here," but he
can do that in the pick and roll too.
But
you can go screen a lot of places.
But we don't do it to get threes, right? A lot of teams, right? Utah ran it perfectly against us all night. With it, and they also ran it with Mike Conley in the previous game in Utah. I think it was Conley. Might have been Conley.
Yeah, I think Conley was still around that first game.
Yeah, so he come up like he's going to screen, and he just slides to the top of the key to hit the perfect lined up 3-point shot, right? The straight on 3. Sam, what's good?
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm just listening in. I finally got some free time, busy week, so I'm glad to be here.
I definitely want to hear your thoughts on this thing, Sam, to D's question, because that's a question, man. That's a powerful one.
What was his question?
I stated to them that knowing that we're not making the play-in, right? Sam, peace. How you doing, first of all? Knowing that we're not making the play-in, right? Knowing that we might be outside the 7th, 8th spot at a draft, and all the players that we want are probably going to be gone by then, right? And Tibbs is coming back, and me looking at these contracts and how the cap's going to look next year, it looks like everybody's coming back, the same old guys. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that projecting into this next season?
Well, reiterate some of what I've been saying all season long. These guys that we have on this team, for the most part, and the guys that we see that they put in the game, and we're like, man, why is he back out here? These are the guys that I've been asking and begging for the front office to make a executive smart decision on. These guys like Taj, Noel, Burks, they have to go. I know it's going to be more difficult for them to move Evan, but
Yeah.
honestly, out of all of those guys, Evan's the least problematic for me. My guys that I want going are Burks, Noel, and Taj Gibson needs to be gone next year. But when it comes to like they're saying, like Ron's saying, when you keep these guys on the roster, this is who Tibbs is going to go to. Just like tonight, guys, we see that Randall's out. You think Obi's going to play? I'm going to tell you right now, he's starting Taj.
Oh Lord.
I'm gonna tell you right now, he's starting Taj, and I didn't even see the lineups. That's just what you can expect. Like you said, like Ron's saying, when you have this guy with his toys out there, reliable, this is who he's gonna throw out there. So as many of those guys as you can throw away and force him to use something else. That way, he has to use some of these younger guys or guys that we would rather see out there. I think that's the way to go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, I think this is the first time this fan base was pretty much in unison about the youth, man. It ain't about chasing no stars no more, man. And it's sad, man. And hot dog Leon Rose, man. Get that
Think
guy.
about it. Think about every team that's on the uprise in the NBA.
Okay.
What do they all have in common?
Youth.
That, and they drafted them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's actually throughout history. I just wanted to get this year, so then just to get that out the way. But so if you're not doing that, and you're going to run this back, and if you're not going to get people that are going to be, because like Hinton brought up a Sokan, Sokan, I can't think of his name right now, from Baylor, and I like him too. I do think he needs to go back another year, but that's not a guy that's going to come in and take a spot with no dispute.
Yeah.
Where this guy is going to come in and he's going to be effective immediately, because that's something that we do need. You know why? Because we don't develop. So we need somebody to come in and kind of already be prepared to go, and there are a couple of guys like that in this, but I think we'll be outside of that. And if you're going to rely on this organization to develop, I would advise you not to hold your breath.
D's balling. You made a good point, man. Because, and I just sat there when you was talking, I was just visualizing the team. The Miami Heat, they got the blueprint of how you go get vets, man. Them guys don't go shopping at Kmart on the blue light special to go get vets to play for a veteran team with a veteran coach. They go get the best out of free agency. That's what they do time and time again. Now I'm hearing they link to Bradley Beal, and it's a strong possibility he ends up there. They don't go and get the bargain basement guys. And if you got a coach like Tom Thibodeau, he's in the win now mode. He's not a developmental guy. You go shop and go get the designer. You don't go get the knockoffs. And that's what we've done. And I ain't got no problem with Evan Fournier. I'll tell you this. And I said this last night on Stephanie's show, man. Evan Fournier ain't the problem that is Evan Fournier. Evan Fournier's timeline on this team doesn't fit. He does not fit this team because this team is not ready to win. He's a piece, but he's not a piece that we need right now because this team is not fit to win. You can get more by moving him than what his value would be to the team, playing for him.
I agree, Ron, and that's why I said, I believe, Fournier, out of all the vets, he's the guy that I actually don't see a problem with staying on the team, because I just feel as though he's asked to do some things which we know he's just not capable of doing.
And he shoots the lights out.
Right.
When he's on.
He's doing his job as far as what you thought you paid him for.
Yeah.
We're expecting him to play defense as well, which is just not his strong suit. On an island, he can't, like we all know, he can't guard anybody. So some of these other guys I look for the organization to try to move off of. I actually don't know how they would even move off of Noel at this point. It's gotten so bad to where you'd probably have to trade him and give up cash at this point. I don't know.
But you know
But
what? I'm
Sam,
gonna tell
there's
you
a
this.
question you have to wait. Let me answer a
Go
question
ahead.
to that real
I'll
quick.
say that.
But Sam, but the whole thing is that I understand you want to move Burks, you want to move Noel, but the question is that you got to answer two things. One, is the team going to be available to take that one? And number two, what are you really getting back in return?
Right, and that's my thing, D. I think the value is so down bad now.
Yeah, it's down
It's
there.
like
Yeah.
you're not getting anything at all. I don't know if we would be lucky. I know people were talking about last year, in the last season, you could potentially do like a Marcus Morris type thing for Burks. Burks isn't even worth a second round pick this year's draft at this point. I don't know, unless a team just really wants him. I don't see anybody who really wants him like that. So.
Yeah, he's another guy that got to go to like a contending team. You know, I mean, his role don't fit with this team, where this team is at right now, neither. But, you know, when you brought up Nerlens Noel, man, this is why I believe Mitchell Robinson is gone. Everything ties back to Nerlens. The New York Knicks had no intentions of re-signing Mitchell Robinson at all. That's why they gave Nerlens that money off of that performance last season. The problem is it blew up in their face this season because the guy ain't healthy and Mitch done took a leap, like Jay Boogie said earlier. And the fact that your man Mitch done take the leap, now they want to lowball the man. Don't want to even pay the man $12 million a season when that guy is worth every bit of $12 million a season. You know why you don't want to pay him $12 million? Because you're stuck with Nerlens Noel.
Okay.
That's why. Calculated mistake. Front office malpractice. 1-on-1. Leon Rose, get the job done.
Hey, what contract did we get Noel? Don't he got a 2-year with a 1-year play
Yeah.
team out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's
Same thing with Burks.
He's gone regardless at the end of the season, right?
No.
I think the last year's a team option.
Why no?
What?
Could be wrong.
No, he said after this next season. He didn't say this season.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he got one more. He got one more year in this contract, and then
So we gave him a 3-year with a
this is a 3-year.
Essentially a
3 years,
3-year, but it's 2 + 1.
We got some we got some drinkers in the office, man. I'm telling you that straight, man. You know, earlier, man, when you were saying you'll trade this pick and trade back, you know what I'm saying?
That I see that's what they gonna possibly do.
That's not a bad option. But if we get lucky somehow, some way, and we get somewhere, say we move up somewhere 6, 7, right around there, like G.I. been breaking down how you get some type of way we're gonna wind up with extra balls or thin balls or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's what he was breaking down, I think, last week. And that 4th pick come, and that boy Ivy is on there. I'm breaking the bank to go get that boy to trade up. I'm at least calling.
I'm with you. I'm taking Ivy.
Tell me no, you're gonna have to tell me that. But I'm coming. And if it's one of these young players, I'll pick a future first-round pick, a future first-round pick after that, because we do got him. I'm going to get that boy because him and RJ in the backcourt solidifies us for years. You know what I'm saying? So it can't go both ways.
Yeah, if it's a top 5 pick the Knicks fall into, they'll keep it, I think. But anything after 5, I think they're gonna trade that pick. They're gonna send it out.
That's only for Jalen though. That's only for Jalen. But that's what we need.
We need that.
We gotta get a pick a need.
So 2 things. One, Jaden's going to be top 3 most likely, right? So what can we offer to be there? That's 1. And 2, Jaden doesn't fix your point guard situation. Hunter plays the point guard for his squad, and Jalen right now is a shooting guard, undersized.
Yep. But you don't think Jaden can play point guard in the NBA?
If he's having trouble in college, it's only going to be harder for him in the NBA.
He is struggling with it now, and like Dee's pointed out, you know, they got that. What's the guy's name? Hunter, I think he's running the show.
He is,
as far as the playmaking duties. Ivy gets a little bit of it, but for the most part, with him, they give him the ball for him to go downhill and score. And if he's passing out, sometimes it tends to be a turnover, and that's how you see him get those highlight chase down blocks. Is because he's chasing the guy down, more than likely off of either his turnover or somebody else's on the team.
Y'all do know.
I saw that happen this week, but I do notice when them guys rebound and go from rebound to going transition over the offense, they get that boy the ball to push that rock.
Oh yeah, because he's explosive there, absolutely. But in half court, he's not running that offense.
Yeah, he's a downhill type scorer. So
Y'all do know, yo, what's up, fellas?
Oh, no.
Every day, Sam, every day, man, I'm just so jealous of you when I walk around this college campus, and I just want to take one of the college students and put them in this monkey suit, and I just want to go to the dorm and take a nap and get into whatever the hell I got into 40 years ago. But anyway, listen, I'm the guy in the boardroom reminding you guys, I need y'all to keep talking what y'all talking because I get smarter, especially about the college players.
Mhm.
But I need y'all to understand that we still have a chance to win the draft.
We do.
I know we've never done it before. I know we've never won a championship either, and we keep bucking for those. I'm paying attention to the college players, but I need y'all to know I'm still holding out faith that we will get #1 ping pong ball, and then we can next year fix it itself. I'm never giving up that faith until
I'm riding with you until otherwise told that we ain't got it, partner.
I mean,
I'm hoping like you, man. I'm hoping like
Gi, break it down to me on how we're in the sweepstakes. Look, I know faith and trust, and I understand you're going on a leap of faith here. I got you. I got a parachute for you.
What is it, a 1% chance or something?
No. I thought the first 3 positions, everybody's chances are better. After that, then it drops down.
Right.
So 30-win teams have won the lottery the last 2 years. 30-win teams won the lottery the last 2 years, guys. We're a 30-win
Go back to New Orleans. Look how New Orleans got it when they were trying to get in the playoffs. They just missed the playoffs and got Zion.
Hey, so let me say something real quick. So first of all, Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says people keep desiring players who would replace RJ. That's because Randle isn't the only player who's not playing winning basketball. Fans kind of know RJ, ain't it? Right? Secondly,
ouch, that was a hell of a super chat.
Yeah, secondly, if the Knicks get the #1 pick, I'm not drafting a player. I'm trading that pick to Portland, right? And getting their 2 top 10 picks in a future draft pick. That way Portland can draft Chet Holmgren, who's playing right now in the Northwest. Right? And so your pitch to Portland is your future is Chet Holmgren and Anthony Simons.
I would get ready to bring his name up.
That'd be your future. Now what the Knicks get in this is some combination of Johnny Davis, Ben Mathurin, and Keegan Murray. Two of those 3 players, right? And so to the Knicks, this is myself to the Knicks fans. A combination, say you get Johnny Davis and Ben Mathurin. Say just that's the combination. That's the way it works out. Your pitch to them is now you have the wing players that Tibbs wanted last year. Now you make up for it, and you have an additional first-round pick in the future from a team that's not really going to be that good. So that first-round pick you get from Portland is probably going to be another lottery pick and say 3. They'll push it out. They'll be like, 4 years from now. So it'll probably be like the 2026 first, right? Damian Lillard will be very old, and maybe possibly even gone, right? And so my Celtics say somebody who doesn't like my trade scenario. D Poetic probably doesn't like that trade scenario, right? I would say D Poetic, listen.
You didn't even ask me.
No, I'm just saying.
Okay, you just put it out there. Got you.
Just in general, right? So you get 2 guys that seem like they play the position, but in today's NBA, more teams than ever are flooding the court with guys that can dribble, pass, and shoot, right? Now, while defense is optional a lot of places, Mathurin and Davis present defensive upside. Davis more so right now in this moment, more so than Mathurin. But Mathurin has defensive potential, right? Now you have a core on the wing of Reddish, RJ, Grimes, Davis, Mathurin, right? Not to mention, you still have Burks and Fournier. So you can do either the youth movement, go all in with your young guys, Go all in with your young guys, or you can attach Nerlens Noel to a Mitchell Robinson sign and trade, and what you get in return is nothing, right? You don't get anything. Like the other team is going to give you a guy that you can cut, right? But what you've done is you shed Nerlens Noel contract while Mitchell Robinson leaves, right? So what you're going to say is, hey man, Uncle Freezy, if you do that, that means you don't have a center. But the center is the easiest position to fill, right? Phoenix signed Bismack Biyombo in January. And he's a contributor. We should take that approach. If Mitch leaves, don't spend money at the center position. Go get you some guys that you can rotate in at center, some names, right? Not just some randoms.
Go get a JaVale McGee.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. A JaVale McGee, a Dwight Howard, a Bismack Biyombo, some guys like that can play. A Plumlee brother. I don't know if the other Plumlee is in the league, but y'all see what I'm getting at. Yeah. And develop those guys. And if it comes to it, now you can package Fournier, a 40% 3-point shooter, and Burks to go get you a point guard. Right, go get you a point guard of somebody's bench, because Fournier and Burks on a championship team can help a team win a championship. Right? It doesn't sound logical, right? Who's going to take Burks? But Burks is a off the bench scorer. When you play him in that role, he excels. Right? Fournier is a 40% 3-point shooter. If you have a star that's going to be double teamed in the playoffs, Fournier is what you need.
He's not the man you want to leave open, that's for sure.
Right.
So what was the trade proposal again?
It was just a random. We're talking about to Portland or to any.
Yeah. This whole. I mean, you conceived a whole structure with it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. He talked about getting rid of that number one.
Right. So
picking up a couple of Portland's picks.
Right. So if we get the number one pick, the Knicks should not draft Chet Holmgren. Not that he's not going to be a great NBA player. I'm not saying that he's not going to be a great NBA player. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, in today's NBA and in Tom Thibodeau's or whoever the coach is, people don't feature centers like they used to. But, Johnny Davis and Ben Mathurin or Keegan Murray or the sharp kid from Kentucky, whoever you get right there, you have two building pieces for the future right there.
Okay.
Right? Two pieces you can help build that you can add to Grimes and Reddish and RJ. So now you have two more elite young wings.
Okay.
Right?
So I'm starting to understand now. So you're saying that if we get first of all, I agree with you. I wouldn't draft Chet either with the first round, with the first pick. But so you're saying trade that pick.
No, for Portland.
Give it to Portland because Portland has 2 picks in the draft. I mean, in the lottery.
In the top 10, yeah.
Right. And take those 2 on. Okay, and what else?
And ask them for another first round pick later on down the road, like a 2027, 2026 first round pick, right? Don't go asking for Dame. Don't be stupid.
Okay.
Right?
Stay away from him.
And don't be like, yo, the number one pick, Dame, and then you got to throw in some others. No, we ain't doing that.
But that's what they'll do.
That's LOL Knicks, right?
We ain't gonna do nothing.
But what we want to do is draft 2 of these young guys,
right,
and develop them alongside RJ, Grimes, and Reddish. Right now, you have 5 dudes that you know for a fact have talent. Right. None of this, hey, I'm going to develop Obi. Listen, if Obi's going to be a good player, okay. But you can't develop 7 kids at once. Right? You can't develop that. That's just too many.
Right.
Develop these guys and have a guy emerge. Have it be a dogfight. RJ, don't give nothing to RJ Barrett. You tell RJ Barrett, listen, coming into training camp, you're going to have to earn your minutes over Johnny Davis, over Ben Mathurin, over Quentin Grimes, over Cam Reddish. And that's the dogfight going into camp, right? That is what you call the accountability aspect. Right?
I like the idea. Okay. It's just the problem goes back to that coach. I like.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. I was like, is Tom around for all this? Because
I know that too, Ron.
That's the problem is that coach. You know, if you had a Kenny Atkinson or somebody of that ilk, even heck, go call Mark Jackson. Go call somebody that can develop.
But y'all don't think that? I personally think of anybody in the top 10, Johnny Davis would be loved by Tom Thibodeau.
And I agree with that.
Davis.
Of anybody,
it doesn't mean it's good for his development, though.
Amy that Tibbs waiting. Tibbs 60, almost 70 years old, man.
Yeah,
Tibbs ain't waiting.
Ain't doing anything.
And neither is Johnny Davis. Y'all think it's going to take Johnny Davis 3 years to be good in the NBA?
I did take a look at him.
I think y'all wrong. I think y'all wrong. If y'all think Johnny Davis,
I don't think so.
No, I think in year one he'll have an impact.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I just don't.
It just go back to that coach. That's what this thing for me goes back to.
Yeah, I don't believe in the development when it comes to having him as head coach.
And for those that don't know Johnny Davis, if you like RJ Barrett's attitude towards winning, you are gonna love Johnny Davis.
Yep.
But
So
when
the
the skill set's gonna come into play? You talking about attitude as far as winning, all that. Yeah, I know RJ has a winning attitude as far as playing. He plays hard and all that. But sooner or later, skill sets is gonna have to come in. If you putting him in somebody like Greg Popovich's system, yeah, Johnny Davis gonna, he's gonna eat. But you're talking about a dribble handoff system with a guy that can't put the ball on the floor more than 3 times with a dude in front of him. I see their whole offense. They run a pick for him. That dude, you dudes that can bust who's in front of you.
Right.
That dude can't do that, man.
Right.
But everybody
facing 3 defenders, nah, he can't do that.
Yeah, I didn't say 3 defenders. I'm saying I ain't say 3 defenders, but the dude can't put the ball on the floor.
Boogie, my man faced 3 defenders every game, bro.
Every game. Fellas, man. Hey,
unbelievable.
Hey, I'm enjoying the conversation, man. I gotta run. Y'all keep it going, man. I'm listening. Appreciate you, boy. Appreciate you.
Let me read this G-Man super chat real quick.
Yeah.
So G-Man, thank you for your generous contribution. G-Man says we have the same people making the decisions. Why are we looking for a different outcome? You know what you know what I think that is? I don't need to say it. God bless the Knicks.
Right.
No, I get what he's saying, bro.
Come back with the same team next year.
But they can't that part right there. You can't really help that. What I was speaking to is when G.I. said the Knicks might get the number 1 pick.
Right.
That's what I was speaking to.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those that didn't hear, G.I. said
they'll blow that though. They'll screw that up. They always do.
Well,
they're going to do that. They're going to screw it up. They always screw it up.
Well, they didn't screw it up.
Screw it up.
D'Angelo, they didn't screw it up with Pat Ewing at least.
No. But how many 100 years ago now? I'm getting very old now. I'm getting very old.
They haven't got the number 1 overall pick that many times. So I can't.
Okay. Well, let's see what happens there, Sam.
We only had it once.
Freezy, I'm gonna be real with you. Your idea was fantastic. That was a fantastic idea because there's not a clear-cut one this year. They all have major flaws. Jabari Smith, your Panchero, your Chet, even Jaden as well. He's got a lot of flaws to his game as well. So it's a really great idea.
Right.
What if we get 2? Do we just run the same idea again, or is there contingencies?
If somebody will take it.
Did you guys see that Smith doesn't even know if he wants to declare yet? I think he should because I don't think he'll have that type of hype behind his name next year. But he's saying he was unsure if he wanted to declare for the draft.
Right.
After they lost.
He might not make top 3 in 23.
Yeah, I don't see him getting there.
I don't see him making top 10 in 23.
Yeah, me neither. That class is going to be loaded.
Right.
I'm for with what you're saying. If you get that number 1 pick and you could trade and double up or make something fantastically happen, I'm all for that. I just think I don't think Portland gonna take none of them guys in that draft. I think they want to do the same thing. Want to go somehow get a marquee player because Dame is getting older. If they ain't trading Dame, they need some pieces right now because they got cap space.
Yeah.
And then you got Simons.
I think they're gonna go Boogie. I think they're gonna go full full rebuild. We've seen them kind of, ship those guys because they've already shipped out pretty much all their role players. At this point, they're trotting out the G League team. So
here come the Dame talk then.
Yeah, so the G League team's already out there. Dame shut down for the season. They've already shut down Simons and these other guys. They're in full tank mode, full rebuild mode. I think you're going to see them draft a whole lot of guys. Hope that some of these guys pop. Oops, sorry. And I think they'll do the same thing every year until they. I just think for the next 2 years.
Yeah, and also too, they're definitely getting Lillard out of here by the end of this all season.
Yeah,
because you could tell they're on complete rebuild. Absolutely.
Yeah, and wow. You can tell. You can tell.
Mm-hmm.
And so, hey, real quick, everybody, I gotta get out of here, man.
Yeah, of course.
I gotta get out of here because I've been up since like what's the man? It's 1 something.
Yeah,
it's 2 o'clock about.
Yeah,
so we don't have to complain that vibes and things is cutting into that.
Yo. So it's vibes and stuff.
That relationship
vibes and stuff. I apologize, please.
Vibes and stuff.
How dare you?
That was no
disrespect. to 9.
That was no disrespect.
And we sent an invite to Gi.
I didn't get
to talk. Yeah, we did.
I never sent the link.
Man,
what?
I've never gotten the link.
To vibes and stuff? Yes, you have.
Yeah, but
you better think about that. You better go back in the memory bank.
Hold on. I see that.
Doing all them numbers.
Hey, join the club, Gi. Join the club, Gi.
I even invited you on screen.
Hold on.
And you were like, "Yo, I'm on my way."
Message. It's somewhere right here.
Not
for 8 a.m. The 8 a.m. slot is you and Chuck. That's
so everybody. I got to get out of here. I'm gonna send a carrier pigeon to Gi. So, with a big note with a billboard. So, but anyway, thank y'all for coming through, man. The conversation was dope as usual. I will see y'all in the AM 9:15ish. Y'all have a good day, man.
All right.
All right, y'all.
Later.